everybody? Happy Thursday. Hope everybody's doing okay. Hope everybody's week is going good. As you can see, this is another episode of Because of Fergie with myself, Jarrell, my co-host Miles, and our wonderful guest today. Guess you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Zadie.
This is
That's
Zadie
it.
is Miles' day one.
yeah, she's one of my day
I
ones. We
yes,
we went to kindergarten together.
Oh wow,
Yeah, like
I
y'all
we.
be
actually
doing something.
consider him. I consider him my first boyfriend.
This is true.
I swear to
I
God.
I
Yep.
was Zadie's first. She was my. Nah, I would say you were my first, but you weren't. I'm sorry.
Who asked
Oh,
you out?
I don't
uh,
think it worked like that.
it didn't. It was I. I'm pretty sure it was like some slick shit. Like we're now dating. Like we're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
We
y'all both
rode the
just
bus
mutually came
together.
to the
Yeah, we
thing
rode the
being like,
bus
oh yeah, we
together and
rock
was
together.
like, "Hey, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, and don't mess with my girlfriend. Like, I play with her. We play at the park. Like, get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, pretty much. It was like little hugs and like always playing together on the playground, and like he would bring me all like the toys and stuff. I
It was
swear to God, he made me some like arts and crafts. My mom has it. She's like, "Oh, someone
Oh,
made you this," and I remember. And I saw Jay, and I was like, "I know it was him. I know it was him."
oh
that is
no.
adorable. Wait a minute,
Yeah,
y'all had toys at your school?
Yeah,
like I don't know, like yeah,
I
I
really hope
did
this
it.
AC on. Yeah, did you not? Like,
No.
we had solid shit.
Oh,
What do you mean you
oh,
had toys? Like toys like what?
Like,
I'm I
like
don't know,
blocks to
like
build
blocks and
with.
puzzles and paints and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
like we
Not like
Love
painted.
no GI
puzzles?
Joe figures or
We took naps
what?
at fucking kindergarten. It was fucking dope. And not like on the floor. We had like little bunk mats, like little things that we were off the floor.
This is bullshit. We got milk, and that was it, bro.
We
Yeah,
had
milk.
full on. We had full
We
on
we
like
even got white
breakfast shit.
chocolate milk. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? All right, well, somebody owes me money. St. Paul school systems. It's horseshit.
The
Anyway,
St. Paul
uh,
Garlo, where it's at.
oh,
Mm-hmm.
we said where?
West St. Paul,
Garlo.
Garlo Elementary.
Garlo.
It's a magnet school now.
Yep, it's a music magnet school now. Which I mean makes sense because they did definitely bring that into all our classroom stuff. Like the music thing was a big thing. I mean, we
Hmm.
weren't good at it at all because we were just little kids, so we don't know what the hell's going on. But
I got to touch a guitar, and that's all I knew.
This is
the tambourine,
bullshit. What is
those
this?
plastic
Well, no, we
tubes that
did.
were different colors.
The
Remember that? They were
xylophones?
like plastic tubes. No, like literal, like huge straws that you'd hit on the floor, and they were each different
Oh
colors and
yeah,
different lengths,
those.
so they'd make different sounds.
I've seen somebody use those to make that crazy train just doo 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 doo. I. It was dope.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
All right,
Yep.
so this was fun because now people got to defend all of their sexes in a second. This is gonna get out of control. Miles, I'm gonna let you introduce this one because I don't know how you wanna get into it because you were affected the most by this.
All right. So are we talking about why I was just fully upset with women?
We can get into that because I do have a question about
Uh,
equality.
I'm gonna
okay.
have many
Hold on.
questions.
I'm gonna have so many people angry with me in a moment. I am
Oh man,
currently.
it's,
I
it's your
forgot
week, man.
to make this public so everyone can see this. Um.
Aha.
So pretty much, I don't know how to like describe it. I feel like I didn't describe it well even when I was telling Zadie about it. It was just like watching
All right.
something. Go, you do it.
We,
I got.
So we
Yeah.
watched the for those of you who know what the 85 South Show is. 85 South Show is a podcast with Carlos Miller, DC Young Fly, and Chigo, all them guys from Wild and Out. This week they ended up having an episode where they invited three women on. I don't remember the women's names off the top of my head, but they were all talking about different things that they expected from men to do to them that wanted to approach them or even be around them really. Some things like sending them money in the morning, things like having $300 minimum dates, You know, what else? Wait, what was the thing that set you off though?
It was pretty much like, so like the Cash App thing really set me off. So
Yeah.
like they were
Not
basically
only
saying,
Not only did they say you have to send a Cash App to talk to them, you had it, like if you sent $5 or something like that, they would be like, "Why are you so disrespectful?" They would be like, You're playing games with me for sending me free money, not up to the standard that I needed to be." Like, it was a bunch of bullshit. But Miles
Yeah.
took that shit to heart, like very
I don't know
much to
what
heart.
it. So like for me, I really wish that like, for me it like dating was like a big thing for me. Like a lot of my life was spent dating. So like I know the dating scene. I know like the ins and out, kind of like what I dealt with and like the bullshit I had to go through, and some of the shit was my fault. Like I played the simp, I played the fool, I've played every fucking what why are you giving me that look? Do you not see
Hold
me
on.
simping?
I'm no, okay, so what does that mean? I've heard that word recently, and simping, what does that not, are you like just
Like, you
treating
want
your girl nice, or
So
No,
are
simping
you
is
going beyond that?
She's not your girl. You're in
Yeah.
pursuit of a
Oh.
relationship, and you're doing boyfriend level shit for less than friendship pay.
yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I see.
So, like, you're
all right.
Trying to talk to a girl, like you're trying to like get to the boyfriend level, but at the time you're like paying her bills, taking her out, paying for her night out, telling her she's
Paying for her
beautiful every
kids'
time you
daycare.
see her, and like just hyping her the fuck up. She's getting everything she would in a relationship just without actually having a relationship. That's the big yikes. Yes. So I've played that. I'm not gonna be I'm ashamed, but I'm not ashamed. Like, it's life. I like, everyone plays that fool. Like, I thought I was in there. I thought I was winning at the time.
What's the
turns out
simpiest shit that you've done?
Huh?
I was about to ask.
What's the simpiest shit?
I've definitely
personally
paid
done?
a girl's energy bill. I had it like that. At the time, I was just like, you know, she's struggling. Like, you know, I'll throw some money your way.
Can I ask though? Did
Yeah.
you do it to achieve like that boyfriend status, or did you do it because you just wanted to do it? Like, is
Yeah,
it because you wanted like some type of reward at the end, or were you just genuinely like, hey, this is how I am as a person. Like,
It's
let
a
me do this for you.
It's a combination of both, honestly. Because I am that type of person. Like, if my friends are struggling and I've got it, I don't mind giving. Because, like, if I'm struggling, I kind of would expect the same thing. So, like, it was that, but at the same time, I was just like, yeah, she's gonna fucking, like, she's going to like me if I do this. In my head, I was thinking that. Nothing happened with me and them.
And be like, I can
Yeah,
see myself because Miles did this for me. My lights are on and I can cook my food because Miles, big strong man, did this.
Exactly.
He's a provider.
Knowingly getting taken advantage of with the goal of getting or keeping a woman you really like. Simp
Yeah,
shit.
that's what it is.
That's pretty much what it is. That is Zay Prince got that. So I've done it before, and then I learned. I had to learn the hard way. I'm like, I ain't achieved nothing. I didn't move on. I don't feel bad about doing it because, like, again, it helped them out. Like, she needed the help. I helped her out. That's how I'm gonna take it at the end of the day. During the time, I might have been a little salty.
Can I just
Isaiah,
ask one
fool.
question though?
How much
What
was
up?
it? I want to know.
That too. Yeah, how much was it?
So I put down 120. It wasn't a lot.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Ooh. Ooh, that gave me indigestion. Oh, my God. I'm hurt. Nigga, what?
Yeah, I know, right? Like, in hindsight, it was like, you know, I could have did something else with that 120, but like,
Oh, my God.
it's whatever. It's whatever. So,
Nigga, that's 6 lap dances.
But I want to ask the main question though. Did you ever like actually tell her that was your goal? Like, hey, at some point I want to see us, in a relationship.
no, I
Like, did
was
you ever bluntly ask her, like, hey?
Oh no,
do
I
you
was
see this working
definitely
out?
making it like clear that I was pursuing a relationship with her. Like I made that clear.
How clear? Did
By
you
telling her,
physically say the words?
yes.
Hey, I want to. Okay.
Yeah, I physically said like, hey, like I'm trying to like be with you, not any of that just fuckboy shit. While doing fuckboy shit apparently. So.
What did she say?
Thanks for paying my bills.
Right.
Thanks for
Like,
keeping
what
these
did she
motherfucking
say?
lights on.
She said some like. She never repaid me back in any type of way. No. She
And,
said.
like, I'm asking, like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, she said some okay, like she said she did some curve shit, like made me think that I still like she was with it, like she was also like, yeah, like we could talk about this shit, without actually giving a full straight answer. Like I said, I was.
So did you continue to do what you were doing after she gave you that answer?
Not to the same extent. So
What
like,
else did you do?
Right.
I mean, like, I was still talking to her, still like, hitting her with like texts every now and then, like, hey, how you doing? Like, actually, like keeping up with her and talking.
The cool good morning
but
text and shit.
I mean, sometimes if I felt like giving, I don't give good morning texts all the time. I keep those as a rare occasion, but because sometimes I'm not thinking about you in the morning. But like, I was just fucking like in her ear sometimes, but it was clear that it wasn't gonna happen. So after a while, I just was like, well, this is a lesson learned. But the original point was that
real quick. It's so intriguing to me. Cause you know what's funny? I had that same thing happen to me with one of my exes, but we weren't together at the time. And you actually pressed that button, and I'm more like lost in that shit.
Chat said I paid a $200 dinner tap for 2 strippers and didn't even end up getting a dance out of it. It happens, my guys. Just learn from it. Oh shit,
boy. Oh my boy.
It happens. It happens.
Oh
we get played sometimes.
Where were you eating at, bro? Where did you get this? What? Oh, I'm sick. Man, I hope you doing great in life. Oh my god,
he is doing great in life. I want to pull him in as a guest one night.
We gotta do it, man. I'm gonna pray for you. That's ridiculous. But like I was saying, I got proposition with the same shit. I had an ex. And she was living with a nigga too at the time. And she hit me up like, hey, you know what I'm saying? These light bills is going off. I was like, I real life, no bullshit, said, you want me to pay your bills so you can fuck with the lights on with somebody else? Like, are you outside of your fucking mind, bitch? What the fuck kind of shit is that? No, absolutely not. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. That was my question to you. Well, she had something, like, did she have a nigga in the house walking around in drawers and a white beater talking about some fake smiles? Like, that would hurt. That would fucking hurt, bro.
I swear to God, I don't know. I hope I never know. I hope it was a no, but also I hope I never find out.
That's a good answer.
I'm pretty sure she did not have somebody else. But, who knows?
Outside of pocket. But that was a decision you made to get to somewhere else.
Exactly. It was a decision I made. I played that part. I made that choice, so like I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at the situation. I look out for people in the future like, hey man, this girl I'm talking to just wants like maybe I should send her a couple bucks. I'm like, don't do it, dog.
I mean, I'm a little mad at her. She curved you. Like if she led you on, if she purposely knew what you were doing and for what reason, and she's like, oh, I'm solely benefiting from this and I'm gonna continue to benefit from it. That's a dick move. She did that on purpose. That was a conscious decision.
Yeah.
So I'm a little mad. You're a bigger person for sitting there saying, "Oh, I'm not mad at her." Like you
I am still friends with her.
You gonna chalk the L up to the game? Oh, you is? I thought you was just gonna chalk the L up.
I'm still friends with her. I mean, like,
Oh, you are still feeling it. Wow.
yeah, we don't talk every day.
Why?
What?
Okay. All right.
Then
That's
y'all ain't
your
friends.
choice.
If y'all
I
not
love-
That's
talking,
your
y'all ain't friends.
choice.
Look, we talk every now and then. Like, if I see something on, like, she's on my Snapchat. If I see something, I'm like,
You still got
this fucking nigga.
Snapchat?
I'm like, I mean, yeah.
Oh my god.
How do
Real
you talk
quick,
to people?
What would be the female equivalent of doing some shit like that though?
The
What do you
female
mean?
is,
Yeah,
Of
like
simping?
yeah.
I don't think females simp over dudes like that.
Yes,
I know
they
there's
do.
some situations, bro.
Oh yes,
like,
they definitely fucking do. Oh
There
yeah.
has to be some girls getting a nigga resume ready so he can get a job and shit, just so
That,
they can fuck
or they
with
drive
him.
him to work, they drive him to interviews, you know, they go to their
So-
little rap studio, aka the closet that's got styrofoam on the walls. You know, they sit there
Ooh.
and they cook him meals and shit while he's not doing anything. Like, there's women that do that.
That's fucking
Like, that's
dumb.
a part of their daily existence. Like, they do that. It's not
That's
just
crazy.
men, I promise you. I feel like it's it's equal on both ends. I feel like women all of a sudden are just a little more outspoken about it, and men are getting all uncomfortable. Like, y'all are
'Cause
over
no
here,
men-
like, you know, cringing in
'cause-
your seats. Like, oh my god.
Most of the time, most men won't ever want to, like, straight up say they got played or, like, to put themselves in that position. I, on the other hand, am like, learn from me. I have lived
We
and
all
made
do.
mistakes. Learn from me, and it's also funny that this shit happened to me. Like, this is a story now.
Learn from your mistake. Everybody got
guess.
played out, bro. Everybody got played out, bad at least, but
At
at least
one point
once.
in their life.
Yeah, you got played out, and you got to chalk it up to the game and learn from it, man. Or don't, and just continue to simp.
I mean, at the same time, there's literally no rules to anything. Like, you guys
Yeah,
can do
dude.
whatever you want. You know, and society places the whole roles, the rules, the game, but, like,
Yep.
essentially there's, you know, nothing to it. There's nothing set in stone as to how shit should be done.
I 100% agree, and I got into a argument with a woman about that same thing this week. I was on the
Oh.
TikToks, and I saw this video of black couples dating. And yeah, because I'm old, I'm way too old to be on that app now. I'm thinking about it. Like,
Yeah,
there's
you are.
Too
No,
many
yeah,
19-year-olds. I just
yeah.
realized that too. I shouldn't be on.
This
there.
is why
But
I
it's
don't
funny.
like. This is why I'm glad my TikTok is all comedy and none of that like twerking shit or like girls dance. Because I'm like, majority of them are like 19 or younger. Like, I don't want to fucking watch that. That's gross. And that's why I watch
I
comedy
didn't come
shit.
here. I didn't come here to be judged. Okay, I don't watch that. If it pops up, I'm gonna figure it out. But I didn't come here to be judged. So anyway.
Just gonna figure it out.
Anyway, like I was saying, yeah, no, there was these black couples dating. One of the ladies who was on the date, she said, "Hey, I don't like giving my numbers out. I want a man to ask me for my number." Wait, hold on. Hello? Are we all still here?
No, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm fixing something
Okay,
on my
cool.
green screen.
Oh yeah, I heard something. I heard everything go silent. It terrified me. But anyway, she was like, "Yeah, I don't like when yeah, I'm not gonna ask for a man's number. A man has to ask for my number." There was a certain woman in the comments. She was like, "I feel that same way. I feel like if men aren't pursuing, then he doesn't really want you like that." To which I was like, "Hey, like when you get hungry, do you just expect food to be dropped off in front of you, or do you go out and get something to eat?" She was then replied with, "Well, I wait for the waiter to take my order, and if I'm getting bad service, I go to a different restaurant." I was like, "Yeah, but you still took the initiative to realize that you were hungry to go get something." And she was just like, "It is what it is, sir. This is how I get down." To which I said, "Well, when you met your husband, what did he do to impress you?" And then she called me Kevin Samuels, and that's how my day went. So,
Kevin Samuel. So I'm glad I can see chat and everything.
But that's my point. Like we said this before, like last week, man. You get to make the rules on what you're gonna do in your relationship and how you go about it and everything like that. So it's no rules to this shit. But if you feel like you're getting played, then you're losing.
I just feel like dating right now is just hell. Because
Oh,
of how. So, me personally, I've never actually dated anybody that I've met online. Like, I've never actually,
Lucky you.
set up a profile
yeah, I
on,
did.
like, Tinder or anything like that. And I've never gotten into a serious relationship from it. It's still, in person, whatever. It's not necessarily on purpose, but that's how it's gone. But I mean, I see like how the culture is now, and it's like you said, there's the women that are expecting, like that $200 Cash App, transaction. But then there's also the men out there that are like, oh, like she doesn't look like all these fitness models that are on my feed all of a sudden. Like, like I think it goes both ways. Like, there's just too many expectations because of everything that's being seen right now. Like via social media with those cheesy ass, lovey-dovey videos that they do it for filming, and then after that they hate each other. But like
They are
people
the most
build off that
miserable.
expectation. Yeah.
They're so miserable. They're so miserable. You think these prank couples are happy with each other? They hate each other all the
That's
time.
what I'm saying. And I mean,
If I had to worry about being pranked every second of my day that gets filmed and then put online, I would be pissed off all the time.
for sure. I don't know. Like, it's just, like I said, like, I have a younger sister. She's 7 years younger than me, right? So she's been growing up in that culture. Her current man, I mean, I think she met off Tinder or whatever. But, like, she's constantly like, oh my god, like, look at that couple, they're so cute. Or, oh my god, this favorite YouTube couple. And, like, I mean, that man is sending her, like, 365 roses every day. He got her, like, 2 cars. Like, he's out here, like, paying for her plastic surgery, and she's like, oh my god, that's goals. Like, that's goals. And I'm like, where does that come from?
Where?
Where does that all of a sudden come from? I mean, one of her favorite shows is Keeping Up with the Kardashians, too, so...
I hate the phrase Facebook couple, or just, like, YouTube couple. Like, it just sounds like you're fake to me. It's just like, it's fake, and it's just, I hate that that's, people look at that and will say goals, and I'm just like, shouldn't your goal just to be happy? Like, you don't need to be, I don't know. I say
to
that
me,
as
it's not fake. I don't think it's necessarily that it's fake. I just think that not everybody has that personality type. Like, not everybody has, the personality to sit there and, show you that kind of affection every day. Like, some people are very simple. Some people are very chill. They do it, the whole love languages thing, there's 4 or 5 of them. I don't know how many there are. But, like, people have different ways of doing things. And I feel like if they're with a person that's constantly seeing this all over her feed, all of a sudden she's like, well, you've never done that for me. Well, you've never done that for me. Like, all of a sudden it just changes. And that person is either scrambling to keep up with these Instagram couples, or they're just gonna sit there, get all dissed, and be like, you know what? Maybe we're not for each other anymore. It's so weird. It's weird. I don't understand it.
Yep.
Did we have anything like that growing up, where we had to look at I was blessed enough to have both my parents live with each other and actually be in love with each other, so I got to see what a real relationship's like and everything. But do y'all remember, like, seeing a couple somewhere, or like that was prompted up by the world that made everybody go, yeah, no, we want that? Well, I guess Beyonce.
Of course. Not even that. Not even celebrity culture. Disney movies. Whole Prince Charming and the Cinderella.
Prince Charming.
And, him out here, the damsel in distress, like all that, like fucking what's his name? The one that kissed Snow White and like woke her up and she's like and they got married. Like that's literally what some girls wanted. Like, oh, I'm looking for my Prince Charming. Like and now all of a sudden they're like, no, let's cancel Snow White. He did that without her consent.
I'm like, she was knocked the fuck out though. I mean, she was asleep.
Yeah. However, the story was that a kiss would wake her up. So like, oh my god, we're not gonna get into that one.
But it wasn't dwarf. It wasn't one of like the little 7, dwarves that kissed her. It was some beautiful ass prince that like came out on a horse, and like he was royalty, and that's who you should be letting kiss you. It's not the whole practicality of, oh, I'm gonna die if I don't get this kiss. Like, whoever kissed me, it was like, nah, that specific individual, that specific role has to be the one to come kiss me.
Yeah, growing up, we pretty much had to be that fucking guy. Like, if you weren't that guy, you weren't good enough, pretty much.
Real quick, would you count the 7 dwarves as simps?
No.
No.
Why?
No.
Because they weren't looking to get with her. They were just being fucking nice dwarves.
They was big salty when that nigga pulled up on that horse. Nigga was big salty when that nigga pulled up.
All right, I
All
don't
of them,
remember
all
that.
7 of them niggas was ready to fight.
All right.
Because they're like, who the hell are you and where'd you come from? Like, it's
I'm
stranger
saying.
danger.
Nigga,
That
we've been
kinda
working in
thing.
these mines. We've been working in these fucking mines all fucking day, and you come in here. This bitch got sick, and you think you and your penis is gonna fix all this? They was big salty. They was big salty. They might have been simps.
I guess
They
that
might
kind of
be.
does put it in perspective, right? Like the hard-working ones, like sitting there taking care of her, and all of a sudden this dude just comes up on his horse like, "Hey yo," and just sweeps
Literally
her
out of
away.
nowhere and wins.
What up, little ugly niggas?
And
That's been
win.
taking care of my girl. It was good. You little, you what's gopping? What's popping out here? Oh, she
so-
sleep.
That's what I'm
All I gotta do is
saying,
put
yeah.
something on her real quick. I'll fix all this up, and I'm taking her with me. And y'all just at the
Yeah.
house, seven dicks, 7 lonely dicks in this house doing nothing.
So chat wanted to know, have we read the Fable comics? The Fables comics? And I said no. So I don't know what that is. But I fully now think that they were big mad simps. If the dwarves were worthy, then Prince Charming wouldn't have been able to woo her away. God damn
Them
it,
niggas
Chris.
wasn't
We
working.
don't know that though, but they could have been having an orgy with each other every night after work. We don't know. Like they never displayed that whole like, oh, you know, like I've got a crush on you, whatever the hell. Like they could have been perfectly fine with each other's dicks.
When,
Maybe they didn't even want her
she-
like that.
When them niggas was going to work, she used to give each one of them a kiss on the cheek, and they was all with the shits. They had all their whole day was made. They worked hard as shit when she was out here making sure the house was clean, taking care of everything like that. As soon as she got sick and that nigga pulled up and took her away, them niggas got salty. Salt was
It's because
crying
their
and
maid
shit.
went away. Their maid went away. They had to hire a new maid. What you mean?
That's a good point. Them niggas was working though. Them niggas was big working.
But I mean, that's
So-
like, I think that's an example. You know, like we didn't have Instagram or Facebook, but we had Disney movies. We had the rom-coms. We had that
she's
kind of thing, you
still
know, like.
Rom-coms were a dangerous thing back in the day. Very dangerous. It made men think that getting a girl meant you had to do some crazy shit.
What are these rom-coms that you speak of that change men's outlook on love? I don't remember any of them.
I mean, just like you name a rom-com and I will point out
Hitch.
what the dude, huh?
Hitch.
Hitch?
Yeah.
Dude had
Well,
to
he did eat
pretend.
seafood for her.
Yeah, he ate
He didn't know it
seafood
was
for
seafood.
her.
He didn't know it was. He did not know there was shellfish in it though. It
All
was
right,
an
so
accident.
Hitch was Hitch is a terrible example because this is what Hitch is.
You said,
Hitch was a
name
movie.
One. I named one.
No,
You
I
said
meant
don't
terrible
name
example
that.
for you. Hitch
Oh,
was
okay.
Hitch was a movie where a dude felt that he was not good enough because it didn't work out for him in the beginning with one girl. He made this entire personality up on getting women and how to get women down to a science for him. Teaches other dudes to do that. And then when it doesn't work for him, he has to then he becomes
It worked,
something
though.
that he wasn't. No, it didn't. All his tricks never worked, but he taught them to people.
Wait
Yeah,
a
because
minute.
that was the
all
whole point
right.
of the story. Is like he didn't use whatever he preached on that girl. She like
Yeah,
fell in love with some other part of him, like his actual self. And he's like, oh, like maybe I don't have to do all this, or maybe men don't have to do all these things, like blah blah blah, like that kind of thing. That was the
yeah.
whole
He
like
wasn't.
moral of the story.
He wasn't being a smooth motherfucker with the date. He wasn't, or the sending
He
her
was trying to
flowers
be.
at her job.
He was trying to be.
That's the thing, yeah. He tried and it would fail every time. Like something would
It
happen
was
and
just
he'd
not
get
it.
mad embarrassed. Yeah, like
I'm gonna
that's
watch
what
it
would
tonight.
happen every time. So like, you know, when he did get all puffy after the seafood or whatever, like he took her out on that fancy date, then he ate the seafood and that was the embarrassing moment. And she's like,
Mm.
"Aw, like whatever, you're all swollen." And he's like, "Yeah, I guess I am." And for some reason they ended up together. I don't know.
Yeah,
What about like Wedding Crashers, right?
I
That's
honestly have.
another rom-com.
Yep,
Yeah, I don't
Wedding
think I've seen all the way
Crasher.
through the rest of
He
Breakfast.
pretended to be
Guys, have
someone
never seen
he's
that?
not for a girl until it was blew up in his face, and then he had to confess everything and hope that it worked.
Yeah, like it's just weird shit. Like it's all
Yeah.
sorts of weird shit.
It like
Like,
I
you
love
can even go into,
rom-coms,
like,
but they're
the-
all terrible. Like
The
not
one
terrible,
with
but
Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis.
one of my favorites.
one
It's
where they,
called
like-
Friends with Benefits. One of my
There we
favorites.
go.
Two Greek gods get
See?
together and have sex over and over. Fantastic.
Who? Wait, were they really Greek
Is
guys?
that-
I consider them Greek gods. 51st Dates.
Hey,
Sorry,
Mila
this is coming
Kunis
from
don't
chat.
wash her ass. I just want to put that out there too.
This is
Mila
from
Kunis openly admitted to not washing her ass.
look,
So,
we got
deal with
that. I'm gonna go to chat. Chat said 51st Dates. 51st Dates is a man that has to make a girl fall in love with him over and over and over again. And
Ooh, and she don't remember it that
she
next
doesn't
morning,
remember
too.
the next morning. And
That's some simp ass shit.
it basically makes the dude have to do so fucking much work to get a girl. And it's not her fault, but it like teaches him in that you have to do this. You have to like make the girl fall in love with you every day.
Be a chilly day.
For him to
That's
be
literally
happy,
what
that's
it is.
Not another teen movie. Isn't that the one where it's a nerdy girl? Not Another Teen Movie is just so many. I feel like
I
that was
thought
a
that was
teen
a-
romance and not really
Isn't
a
that
rom-com.
like a spoof? I thought
Yeah,
that
I'm
was
pretty
I
sure
thought it
that's
was
a
like
spoof.
a scary movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a spoof and not a like actual rom-com.
But no, what was not Never Been Kissed? What was the one with the ugly girl that did art and then they took her glasses off and all of a sudden she got to be a bad bitch?
That was I just was talking about that movie a little bit ago. Fuck, what is it
The
called?
princess one?
No, not the
Is
princess
it the
one.
princess one?
It's the one where she wins
Mm-mm.
homecoming queen.
Yeah, it was just what was it? I don't remember it, but like
Harry?
they was like, yeah,
It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Captain
Oh,
America
God.
trying to get a girl with pigtails and glasses by making her prom queen. He wasn't even trying to get a girl.
yeah.
He tried
What was the
winning
name
a
of the
date
movie, though?
or winning a bet. She's all that. Yeah.
He's all that. There we go.
There we go, yeah.
He was trying to win a bet and had to try to make her something she's not. And then when he found out how great she actually was, he fucked it up some way. I barely remember that movie. Are we just gonna have like everyone?
Do you feel like those movies really influence you?
But see,
All right,
now,
so,
like,
like-
what I want is I want an example of a movie where the woman is the one that's out here trying to make the effort. Because you do, it's like you said, you see these movies with men, they do all this crazy shit to court a woman, and finally she's like, I guess, like, we'll be exclusive. But I've never, I can't think off the top of my head of an example where it's reversed, and, like, she had to fight for his affection, for him to say, yeah, okay, let's be happily ever after.
Yeah.
I honestly
And,
can't
like-
That's a
think
great
of one.
question.
I'm not trying to explain all fucking rom-com movies. It's just like you're testing my knowledge, chat. But like the point, and like also, it's not that it didn't influence me, Jarrell. It's just the fact that this is what the movies were. This is pretty much the standard for rom-com movies growing up. So it may not have influenced me directly, but also it kind of did. Because, like, it influenced all men to thinking, like, it influenced all women that watched it to think,
Okay,
this is what a man has to do to get me. And then it influenced the guy that said, I have to do all this stuff just to be able to get a girl. If you didn't
So,
know the
like,
juice, you
what's-
got the juice.
What's one thing a movie taught you, or at least that taught you to be like, oh, I have to get a girl, or taught you how to be approached by a man, or if a man does this, then he likes you? Like, where's the influence that came from that?
I took one
You
thing
go
from a
first.
movie.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to go just jump in front of you. One thing
go
that
ahead.
I took away, it was from a movie with LL Cool J, and I can't remember what it was called.
Whoa, why are you watching the LL Cool J movies? Let's start
It was a black movie back in the day.
Eat
Of
it,
course, I
That's
watched
true,
it. Shut
yeah.
up. It was that when you first meet a girl, you tell her that you have a girlfriend or that you're talking to somebody, because she automatically doesn't see you as a threat, and you're actually desirable. I learned
You
that
fucking villain.
Oh, you are a
I
snake.
never-
That's not
I-
good. You don't do
I-
that. No.
I was
And
all
she
right.
a
So
hoe.
Zadie, there's a period in life where we weren't like close friends, where I was an asshole, and I
think
tried.
I mean, I had that same phase, so
Yeah, so like it wasn't like I did that every time. It was just like sometimes I would say that, but it's something I had learned from a movie, so I just use it as an example. I didn't use it all the time, but like,
but it's a movie.
what about The Wood?
What?
I know you took something from that movie. What did I take from The Wood? I have to think about that one. What up, Curtis?
Nope.
Take a quick shout out to
The Wood
chat.
was a genuinely good like movie though. It was a movie
was,
about
but
like,
it-
hey, I'm trying to be with this girl, but I don't want to rush anything. And then she approached him. Actually, boom, she approached him. She was like, "Hey, bro, I'm trying to take your virginity today. So right now, homie, what it is." And then she got it up out of him. So that's actually a really good example.
All right, Zadie.
I guess,
what is yours that you learned?
I
Oh,
take
look,
away
that's-
from being approached by men. Was that the question?
Yeah, like something from a movie that you incorporate into your life, like or a certain version of this means that a man is interested or loves me.
Yeah.
Oof. You know, I'm gonna be the first one to say I hate rom-coms. I
do
don't
too.
really watch them too much either. Like the romantic comedies or the dramas. Like I'm not that type of person, whatever. But I mean, it was still like the whole, it was the classic, like, oh, he got me flowers, or oh, he holds the door open for me, or oh, he lets me, like walk in front of him. He doesn't let me walk on the sidewalk, near the cars, like I'm on the inside. So like if he were to get hit, it wouldn't be me getting hit. Like that kind of thing. Like that's what I learned from all these damn movies.
Deliver
and I
us
mean,
from Eve.
that-
Sorry. Keep going.
which one is that? I've never heard of that one.
That was
I
the LL Cool J movie.
Yeah, the LL Cool J movie. Sorry, I'm like interacting with chat still. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're
I meant to
fine.
mute.
You're good. You're good. It changes though as you get older, I guess. Like it's different. Cause like I sat there and I was like, well, if he's doing all this, like wouldn't he feel nice if I did the same thing? And that's when it kind of just clicked in my head, like maybe we should also be treating men nice. Like men aren't just these like, rocks with no feelings. Like they're out here doing everything for you, but like a thank you is enough? Like, I don't think so. Like, I feel like men also need to be stimulated by nice things. Like, that's just how it is. And that's why when you brought me on here, you were about to bring up that, discussion about women. I'm like, I'm not like that anymore. Like, I'm not the whole, like, oh, men have to do everything and court me and everything. Like, I'm very blunt. If I think a man is attractive, I will definitely go try to pick him up. I've always been like that.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
He has.
Let me
I
tell
She was
y'all
probably the
something,
one that
man.
approached.
What do I have to lose? Like, that
Let me
have nothing
tell
to
y'all
lose.
something. It did get so hard for women on the attack. Y'all have no fucking idea.
Like, no
I'm
clue
not even
how
joking.
a girl
Like,
approaches me, she's automatically getting my phone number at the very least. Like,
At the
I
least.
mean, don't settle. Don't settle either, boys. But
Why?
like, yeah, open the door.
it's
Why
not
not?
settling. It's not
I'm
settling.
not?
I am
Why not?
But also
attractive.
maybe just, I don't know, like.
Look, I'm gonna get to
just
know
is
them
what
at
it
the
is.
very least, cause they have that like drive to approach to get what they want. I love that. I'm not.
It's not always
Uh,
like in a good sense. Like I didn't always do it like in an ethical manner. Like I foresee a relationship. It's like sometimes I just want a dick and that's it.
That's fine.
And like
That's fine
right,
too.
but like it would never be communicated at that time. And then when they'd hit me up the next day, I'd be like, like I'd be like, well, it was really nice like meeting you, and then immediate butthurt after that from the man. And I'm like,
I mean,
but I made it
yeah.
clear. Like why? Like I made it very
Yeah,
clear.
you
with
made it
like, I'm
clear.
trying to
Because now
But
he-
at the
now he in love with you because you
yeah, he's
showed
in love with.
initiative,
You don't
and
understand
he don't know
how
what the
sh-
fuck to
my
do.
fault.
it's
Now
not-
he out-
See, but that's another thing.
You gonna treat
like,
him like that?
Should I
You
feel
gonna pick
bad
out your
about that?
kid's name? No, you
in my
shouldn't. You're
opinion, you
perfect. You're
shouldn't.
right there.
You shouldn't feel bad about that. It's not your fault. But like that does something to a man. Like, woman just fucking approached me and just wants some. Like, she's clearly a unicorn that I need to try and like hold down and talk to. But like at the same time, you gotta let her go.
No, why?
All right, and that's another thing, though. Like that's another thing women are also taught to do is tiptoe around the rejection for men. Like the whole, oh, you gotta let them down, down nicely. They've got the feelings and whatever. But like, at one point, like, when am I just allowed to sit there and bluntly say no, and then be like, all right? Because you always get the, all right, you ugly anyway, or you fat anyway, or I didn't even want to fuck with you anyway, like that kind of thing. The rejection gets taken to the next level, and you're like, okay, well, maybe I don't want to sit there and get approached by men if they're all just gonna sit there and do that, because you're not gonna get approached by the right man every time. But I'm also
That's a good
scared to
point.
say no. Like there's an outburst, and I'm not saying for every man, but more frequently than not, there's an outburst of just anger and like rejection. And I know it doesn't feel good, but don't sit there and flip it and make me feel bad like I did it on purpose. Like
That's
you're just not
100%
the
right.
type. Like
That's
it. I don't
100%
know.
right.
Don't be
Um,
that guy, man. I know most of the people that we're talking to are like our close fans and everything, but for people who end up watching this on the internet, don't fucking be that guy, bro. Just take the L and keep it moving. It sucks.
Yeah.
No one likes rejection,
And time
but
out.
bro, you'll be
It's
okay.
barely an L if she used you for your penis and she's gone. It's not that much of an L. It's a W. Just move on. It's done.
You learn how to feel pretty for a little while. Just accept
Yeah.
that, G.
If that happened to you
I
once, it
mean-
will happen again, right?
You guys deserve better than that, but like it just, I guess my whole problem with that is like if I go in, for that, right? They might not be on the same page as me as just one night stand. They might sit there and like, like, oh, well, I could maybe see myself with her, like all the good chemicals are going in your body and flowing and stuff. Like, I don't know, like
That
it
needs to be
is.
discussed
It's,
beforehand.
I don't know.
wanna
It
bring
does,
up
and that's the thing is I feel like there should be a conversation. Okay, you want to bring up? Sorry.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Shut up, Jarrell.
everybody
Shut up,
should
Jarrell.
have a conversation about their intentions.
Shut
Doesn't
up,
that
Jarrell.
sound great? Oh man,
Shut the fuck
I
up,
agree.
Jarrell.
I agree. I love when you bring guests on, man. It's great.
Jarrell thinks we disagreed with him on some things.
I don't think I have 2 hours of video saying you did. What are we talking about? Not to jump all the way back into last week's show, but basically I said when I first get in a relationship with a woman, I try to let her know, like, hey, you don't have to do this, but I like to have sex 3 times a week at least once we start a relationship and everything like that. Why? It's just it's how I like that intimacy. I like being like that. It's not just sex for me personally. It's just like, hey, like if I'm doing this with you all the way, then I really like actually fuck with you and everything like that. So I want to be that intimate with you at least, and it feels good and it's nice and it's wonderful. But I say that from jump, and then people looked at me like I was a villain and I didn't understand. But then they all agreed with me afterwards.
I agreed with the sentiment. You should talk about it. I didn't agree with the timing and how you put it, because you were like, the way you said it at the time. You said, yeah, as soon as I start talking to a girl, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna need sex from you at least 3 times a week. And it's just like that came off harsh and just like don't say it like that.
It wasn't all right. Maybe it was just the way I said it, but the sentiment was still the same because we all agreed that was a thing that
Maybe
we all
4
looked
days a lot.
Well, hold on. How many times has that actually worked?
for. All of them.
So it's like, so you've been in like,
Oh, like when I'm in a
relationships
relationship.
yeah,
I've been in.
like how?
I didn't start doing it until I got to my 20s because I didn't. A, I was in a situation, and B, I never needed to bring it up in that situation. Like even in that whole situation, we were very much fulfilled with each other in whatever way we could be.
That's
So
what
it was
I
that.
don't. You didn't
But
even
after
give them
that-
a chance.
What do you mean? Why? What the fuck? I don't. When I make an order for food, I don't just go, "Hey, just hook it up however you feel." Like, no, this is what I want to feel fulfilled. So
Well, then I have
do the
a
same thing.
question.
What's up?
So, like, have you ever gotten to know somebody, every single thing clicked, but they just weren't as sexually active as you are?
Yeah, we broke up.
And oh, so that's like a deal breaker. Like, you just won't stand anything less than the whole 3 times a week.
It's not even that. It's just like, what if I replaced it with time spent with somebody? Or what if I replaced it with, what if she told me she needs 3 dates a week or needs to see me 3 times a week? And I said, nah, I can't do that. Well, now she has to make a decision on if she wants to fuck with me or not. And if she says no, then I gotta take that L. I gotta roll with that.
I haven't even been
Or
able to keep up with
we
chat.
can be adults and compromise and not set these like, you know, high standards for every single personality type.
I love when
That's
we bring on
fair.
guests.
Because that's one of my biggest
but
pet
it's
peeves with people,
usually
the whole
not a
like take
direct
it as I am or
confrontation.
leave it. Like
What
that
if you-
shit don't make sense to me. That
But,
like you're constantly growing, right? You're constantly growing as a person. So is the person that you're interacting
I'll bring
with.
that up in a second.
Maybe their
Quinn.
love language isn't physical touch like yours is. Maybe there's this quality time. But you guys have to make it work and have a compromise. Like maybe it just one day, you know, like once a day. No, not once a day, once a week. Or something vice versa. It's got to be worked out. But you're telling me you can meet your soulmate, right? Everything is great, but then y'all won't bang at what minimum 3 times a week and it's done? Like that's just how it is for you?
How is she my soulmate if we're not doing that?
I'm
Alright,
saying, but that's what I'm saying is if
Chat.
everything else fell into peace and she made you just fluttery and butterflies in your tummy all the time, then okay, so no, we're gonna take this a different
Not
way.
his
Say it
soulmate.
starts off that way. You meet your soulmate, right? You meet your soulmate, that's what you guys start doing, but eventually maybe she changes or she just doesn't feel like the urge to do it. Does it get broken off?
Well, then we have to have a conversation and reset at that point. Like, again, there's situations and everything to it. Like, again, what if she got hit by a bus and now she's out of commission? Now I got to make a decision to figure out how we in this relationship is going to keep going. Like, yeah, I understand life happens and things that happen like that, but that's a conversation that we have later on in time. But let me ask you something then. So you said that like relationships can change and you guys have to go with that. So what if you're dating a dude and everything's going great and then he decides to shoot up heroin and he's like, hey, I'm going to shoot up heroin. Are you going to compromise with somebody shooting up heroin?
I feel like that's an
Compromise in
extreme.
what way? Like also do heroin? Like we're both gonna do heroin like once a week, or
Maybe.
like I would probably
I don't know what compromise you would come to in that situation, but are you willing to compromise with that type of thing?
I don't know.
I
why
promise
you're
I'll get to
asking.
your guys'
I would
question
try to
real
help
quick.
you,
They
but
are
I'd be like,
really
hey, yo,
into this.
Like, look what you're doing. This is hurting you. This is hurting your family. We all worried about you. Let me help you out of this. That kind of thing. But I'm not just gonna like drop him like, nah, he does heroin now. Like, fuck the rest of them as a person. Like, no. Eventually, if it becomes abusive or like, you know, he's not listening and it's one of those things where it's doing more damage to me, then yeah, I will leave.
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
telling
If
me
I'm in
not
that
having
situation,
sex 3 times a week is damaging you?
So, all right. So before,
yes.
Liar.
so I have multiple
What?
questions, and I have to fill in for like I have to bring up chats because they're going wild on this first.
what's
First,
up?
I don't expect a full answer, just a quick yes or no, Zadie. Did you just say that you would date a dude or continue to date a dude if he started doing heroin?
Yeah, she did.
Okay. Long as I got that.
Wait, hold on. Like, if it was like a 5-year background and he just picked up like this dirty ass habit, would I sit there and just drop him right away? Like, no.
What if
Would
we
you
got
try
off
to
the
nurse him
heroin?
back? Would you
Heroin?
try to nurse him away from heroin? Is that?
Not necessarily nurse him, but I'm not just gonna like say fuck you and like have him be stranded off like with that horrible issue by himself. Like, how
What
do
if
these
that's
drug
fair?
addicts recover? Like, it's not, they don't do it always by themselves. They need a network of people that make them feel comfortable enough with themselves to drop that kind of shit. If you're
That's
telling
fair.
me that if I'm with a dude for 5 years, we have shared multiple experiences, have memories together. You're telling me the minute I find out he's doing heroin, I need to drop his ass. Is that what you're
No.
saying?
No, I'm not.
But
I
real
just-
quick, if you guys start dating, right, and he goes, hey, by the way, I need to do heroin at least, once a week. Are you gonna make that decision to be with him? He's your soulmate, you love him and everything like that, but you guys are just now starting out, and he's like, heroin, I'm into it, I need it. And are you
That's
gonna
what
then
I
try to
just said.
compromise
You
with him?
have, no, but you have the conversation like, hey, are you willing to not fucking do heroin?
Yeah, can you fucking
Like, that's
not?
illegal?
All
Like,
right,
don't hurt
so-
yourself? Like, that kind of thing? Sex isn't
That's
the
fair.
same, though.
Yeah, first
How
off,
is it?
yeah.
So you're willing to be in a
Jarrell.
sexless relationship?
Time out, Jarrell.
Nobody
'Cause you-
said that. I'm saying a
Wait,
compromise.
wait.
Time out,
No.
Jarrell. I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
jump in here because you have done this twice now. Both weeks.
Go ahead.
You
What's
always
up?
go extreme. It's 3 times a week.
Yes, that is a
Or
big,
heroin,
major
or
extreme.
not sex at all.
Yep.
This is not what's
Murder.
going down.
She gets hit by a
Oh,
bus, and that's why
yeah,
she
she
won't
gets
have
hit
sex.
by a
Like,
bus, so she
no.
can't have sex. A second thing that you need to, or that was asked is, what if instead of sex it was like a substitute? Like maybe she doesn't want to have sex, but she'll just like give you an old fashioned or something like that. Like, is that
What the
cool?
fuck is an old fat like
A
Like a
hand
handy,
job.
you know, like suck your dick, like that kind of thing. Like, is there a compromise?
That's fine. That all counts. That's all part of the thing.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I guess.
a lot of
That doesn't count as
Chat-
sex. They're all
chat
sexual
is
acts.
split.
I don't.
chat is split on whether this is correct in thinking that three times is not a lot. We're just gonna get that out of the way. 3 times isn't a
I'm
lot.
trying to tell you, bro. I've been
Um,
saying that.
however,
It's a
asking you
lot
to
for
how-
rearrange
somebody
your
going
life.
through depression.
It's a lot. It's a lot for
or
somebody that
trauma,
doesn't want to
or-
do it.
But
Yeah,
like I
like
s-
she just doesn't
but-
want to do it.
That's
But
totally
here's-
different. That's a conversation
another
we have in that moment.
here's another
and then
thing.
go,
The
hey, what do you
argument
need?
isn't that it's a lot. The argument that it is that you have a minimum and you will break up with the person, and you cannot compare not having sex
Nobody
3
has a
times a
minimum?
week. You can't compare not having sex 3 times a week to not having sex at all, or to heroin. Those are two
Another
very
extreme.
different
Okay,
things.
cool. But
And
what
they're
if
both
what if
extreme.
it's time spent? What if it's dates? What if it's holding hands or some other form of affection? Why are those forms of things not seen as like if somebody said, all right, cool, like I like to be alone 6 days out the week and I only want to see you 1 day a week. Like y'all would be okay with that situation?
No, because
What
I
are you saying
don't.
would be okay? It would be a conversation
will-
once again.
Yeah.
Right, but
It's
the
a-
conversation still ends up being like that's the line. That's the hard line. Hey, I need this amount of days to myself, and that doesn't align with
So,
how many
like-
days you have to
All right,
see your
Jarrell,
partner.
I want to put one on you. So
What's
let's
up?
say over the span of 2 to 3 months, you get sex. 1 week you get sex 3 times. 1 you only get once. 1 you don't get any. The next you get 6. Are you happy with this situation?
Yes, because I'm pretty sure we're having a conversation, especially if like the 6 is
No,
coming.
no conversation. No conversation. Just
Oh, it's just life is happening.
life.
Like again,
just-
it's not
just-
like I'm like, hey, I'm waiting
Even
on
if you-
Sunday
even
night
if-
and I'm looking back at the week and like,
even if
hey,
you
we've
are
only
with her, like you are with her throughout, like randomly throughout the week, you just aren't having sex for that week, or you only had sex once 1 week, and
why
then
aren't we?
maybe she doesn't want to.
Why? That's a problem.
Maybe she had a bad day at work. Maybe she's depressed. Maybe her grandma died. I don't know. Maybe she
That's
just
what I'm
literally
saying.
doesn't want
If life happens, then that's a different conversation.
But life
But if
can also be just
things-
no. Like no is literally
Right.
end of sentence. Like it
But
could just be no.
and that's when
Like,
we
I
have
just
to
don't
have a
want to.
conversation. Hey, if you're into that situation where you're like, I'm really just not into having sex. Well, now we need to have a conversation. Now we
Right.
need to figure out what the
So
situation
after
is.
1 week
And
of
that's-
not having sex,
Not
you're
one
having
week.
a
Again,
conversation.
we're not talking about just 1 week. If we come into the situation both agreeing that this is happening, right? We both agree, all right, 3 times a week, cool. We both got this. We understand it. And then week 1, 3, 4, whatever. Week 2, we only do it 2 or whatever. Week 3, we're doing it 3. Week 4, we do nothing. Like, that's fine. That makes sense. But if week 5 we do nothing, week 6 we do nothing, problems
again,
are happening. Now
you're
we need
going
to figure
extreme.
this out.
different.
What if week 5 you're
That's
doing it
very
once,
different.
week 6 you're doing
Problem.
nothing?
Wait. That then yeah. Now we have a problem.
Because it's been
one-
3
You just
weeks and you only
described,
did it
like,
once.
a month without sex. Well, the way you made it seem is if it's not happening 3 times a week, period, into like next week or the week after that, then there's an issue.
How many times do I have to
But-
say
hold
if
on.
life is happening, then we can
No, but
rearrange?
what if it's
We can
not
do that.
life? What if she
But if
literally
you're-
just like nah?
Just doesn't want to? Right. Now, how long is this not wanting to happen? If she's having, like I said, if life is happening and she has a definite family, she got hit by a bus, she saw something scary, and now she's not into sex. Like, life is happening. Now us as a couple has to figure it out.
I can
but
understand.
If we're just now as a couple consistently not meeting the goal, well, now we have a fucking problem here.
I don't like how you put it as meeting the goal.
So if you go, right, so like for instance, right, you know, normal couples maybe, you know, more often than not they burn out after like 5 years. They don't do the whole 3 times a week anymore. If you guys haven't had sex in like 2 to 3 months, and you guys are usually very intimate
I don't think
with
he
each
would
other,
be
I
into
think
a
a
poly
conversation
relationship.
needs to be had.
So how long are y'all okay with like just not having sex then?
I mean,
for me,
if it's mutual, it's expressed mutually at the same time. But if I like try to initiate and he's just like not into it that day, and I just leave it alone. Like I ain't gonna force it every single day. Like I'm not gonna try to initiate every single day.
Right, I'm not gonna force anybody into a situation, but I'm also gonna be like.
So for me, I've been in the situation, I would say a month. Damn, we've already reached 100 messages. Y'all are wild in chat today. All because of Jarrell and his his thing. I won't say problem because it's not a problem. It works for Jarrell.
It's just not realistic. That's my whole thing. If you find somebody, hold on. If you find somebody that you can make that deal with, that's good. Congratulations. But I'm just saying, realistically speaking, I don't think unless you literally make it a deal, like a schedule, you're not gonna have the sex, you know, 3 times a week minimum. Like if work, if people have kids, you know, school, projects, all these things. I'm just saying in general,
Joshua?
Right? If you find the person that you make that compromise with, then y'all have kids and everything like that. Is that what you say life is getting in the way? Oh, you just don't want kids either. Okay, so that's another thing to have a conversation about, I guess.
That's a great example too. What if she goes, I want kids, and I go, I'm not about that life, and we can't come to a compromise on that, and she decides to walk away. That's perfectly fine. Like we can accept that.
Yeah. Because a kid is another thing that's kind of an extreme.
What?
No. A kid is another human being you're responsible for as a couple. That boy, girl, whatever, they're gonna stick around the rest of your damn life. That's not something that you can sit there and, you know, have in your life 1 week and have out your life the other without any repercussions.
Curtis, why are you mad right now? Explain to me why you're mad so I can say it to them. Okay.
What, me?
No, sorry, I was talking to... Did y'all hear that? I was supposed to be muted. I was talking to chat.
No, my only thing is, like, why are, like, the things that are acceptable are acceptable, but when I say sex, that's when everybody goes, oh, hey, no, slow down. Like, why? It's a very intimate action between people who should be very much in tune with each other. I'm not saying that it's a thing that I say at the beginning to make sure that we understand, like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. But if like I said, if something happens during the week or life is happening or we're stressed out and we understand that as a couple and we have that conversation, just not tonight, cool. That's understandable as a couple. But if we're constantly doing this on a regular basis, now we have a problem. Just like anything. If we're not going out together, if we're not spending time together, if we're not enjoying each other's company or having even talks and all these amount of times a week, then that means something is wrong with your relationship. I don't understand why if you put sex in there, people look at you like the villain. Why?
It's not, I mean, sex is just like a very touchy boundary. Like, it's an ever-changing variable depending on people's comforts, depending on their emotions. Like, you consider it an intimate act, right? Not just get yours and be done. Like, it's very different. So, like, you have to make sure, I mean, that they're connecting with that intimacy every day or every, 3 times a week for it to be, acted on. Like, I think it's nothing, like you said, super extreme, but it's just something like, personally, I love sex, but there's some days where I just don't feel like having sex, and I don't want the person I'm with to sit there and take that as a signal something's wrong. I don't want the pressure of constantly having to sit there and give out sex, 3 times a week. If I'm just not feeling it, and there's nothing wrong with me, there's nothing emotionally, anything wrong with me, and they're gonna take that as like a flag that something's wrong. Like, I don't think that's like comfortable.
So when you're in a relationship, what are the things that you feel like you need to have?
Conversations.
So
I
what
need
if
to
he's like,
understand
I'm
that
not?
person's boundaries for that day or that week being whatever, if they change or anything. Like, I need to be in tune with them as to how they are. But I'm not gonna sit there like, if they give me a month without sex and I've tried to initiate or they're not
Replace sex
initiating,
with
like whatever.
conversation.
But
Replace sex with conversation. Whatever your thing
Okay.
is, just replace sex with that.
conversation?
Well, you said
So I don't wanna
conversation
have,
is the
like-
most important thing. So
Of course.
if they're just not into having a
Communication.
conversation with you, you would be like, what the fuck is going on here?
What's up, Savannah?
If
Sorry
we're not
I
having a
missed you. I don't know
conversation?
what happened. Like, all my chat just stopped working for a little bit.
Oh.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we need to. Yeah, I can hear you.
I mean,
Oh,
I
I
think
figured out what I was
conversations
doing
and
wrong.
communication are a bare minimum, though. That's something that's a must in a relationship if you're actually wanting it to work
Feel
out.
makes it feel
Like
mandatory.
a conversation and communication, like that's my big thing. Because there are some men or women too that you can't really have a conversation about the deep stuff. They'll go off and be distant, or they'll try to ignore it,
Hold
or
on,
be
I'm
short.
switching
They're
to
not going to
Facebook.
dive in deep, and you
I
just
mean,
feel this weird disconnect.
Joshua,
like
thank you
that
for
doesn't
being
work.
here.
But hold on.
Hey,
Right?
Auntie Reese.
Also, if the person that I'm with just has a bad day and they don't
Shouldn't
want to
be a
talk about it,
deal.
like I'm not gonna sit there and take that as a red flag. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh my god, like all of a sudden it's just not gonna work out ever in my life. Like
both
no.
wanting it.
Wait,
so
but I'm
3
not
times
doing
a
that
week
on the
is
one
nothing
day.
for a
Nor I'm
couple.
guessing you're doing that on the one conversation.
wrong,
It's
Curtis.
over a thing of time, and again,
It just
it
feels
comes
like
with
because
conversation. It
it's
comes
such
with
a
communication.
red
and everything.
flag for him to
But
not have that.
whenever you
even,
get
like,
to that point
maybe
of
something
having that
happens,
thing
like, I don't
that
know.
you're like, I need this for this relationship to work. Why don't you say that at like up front, so that way they understand, okay, this is what I need to do to tune in with my person.
Because a conversation is a lot different than sex. Like,
When you make
is a
sex feel
physical act.
mandatory, it just
Yeah.
it like weighs on
That's
someone's head.
pressure.
It just weighs
Why?
on somebody because all right, sex is supposed to be a mutual thing. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be like showing someone affection, but like,
Yeah.
what if you just don't want it that time and you want like other shit, but you don't want sex? You just aren't feeling horny. You just want like a connection without sex at the time. That's a
Okay.
problem, right? For you. But
No. Why does everyone keep skipping over the parts of me saying, are we talking? Do I understand that life is happening?
yes,
But
you-
if you're just saying you guys wake up and just be like, nah, I don't want no sex.
no, but like
Like today is not a
Yeah,
sex day.
sometimes.
Really?
it's just
Yeah, like if I have a bad day and shit just doesn't line up, there's no way that I'm gonna sit there and like, oh, like, yeah, I want to have sex now. Sometimes maybe it'll fix it, but other days I'm just like, no, like I can't put myself into it, so I'm not gonna do it. Like that
Okay.
kind of thing.
Me over here, I don't have that problem. I'd rather just be doing something. Unless something horribly traumatic happens, like a death in the family, I get shot, fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Extremes.
Right, like like if I'm not at the point where I'm willing to do something with you, or at least make you feel better. Maybe I'm feeling sick or whatever, but I'm like, at least I want to make you feel good, so that way you know where I'm at, and I'm still cool with you. I'm just on my side. I would rather.
The thing is you went in saying like that is an expectation of yours, to have
It
the
is.
sex 3 times, but then you explained it like, oh, maybe we do it 3 times this week, but then 2 but then like 1 this week and whatever, and you made
Right.
it seem like if you guys don't have sex, for a month, then that's an actual problem. Not if you have sex
Alright,
once
well,
a week. You still said you could live with that though.
All right, we'll back it up to 2
Which
weeks.
one is
then, 'cause
it?
that will back it up to 2 weeks then. Because after that, then I'm really like, all right, what the fuck is
I think
going
we'll
on
turn
here?
most women off.
We're not
I think
smashing it
most
in
women
2
off,
weeks,
like,
or we're not
regardless
smashing
of
it
how
like
much
up
you
to
enjoy
it. And I'm not
sex.
gonna.
It would be so turned off and like wonder why the fuck anybody thinks they are. Ugh. Putting sex in the whole thing is a want. Sex ain't needed, but it's nice to have. For Jarrell, it is needed.
For y'all, it's not needed for y'all. Whatever
So-
It's
your
not
thing
needed for you
is,
either, though, bro. You're not gonna just keel over and die if you don't have sex. Like it's
You
not needed.
Want to know why I
not
know it's not a
necessary.
needed thing? You are correct, Zadie. It's not a needed thing because when you're single, you're not having sex 3 times a week, dog.
So remember when I told you, bro?
No.
When I'm in a relationship, because I don't really be out, like, I'll be out here, but I don't really be out here like that. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be doing stuff, but I don't be fully smashing. When I'm in a relationship, it like that's where all that comes up at. Like, we need to figure this out. And that's why I only deal with people who think about sex in the same way I do. It makes it a lot easier, or at least it starts out a lot easier. But then other things come up, like, hey, I don't want to have a kid, like, and then we have to have that conversation. And it's perfectly fine for them to leave me or not fuck with me anymore for those type of things. But if I say I need to be intimate with you,
because
that's
is
a
another
full-ass
extreme.
future.
A child, like, no, if you have a 5-year-old, right, that's in your life consistently, can you honestly just open the door and be like, all right, bye? Like, no, that's an actual commitment. That's a commitment. That is not
That's
like sex at all. That's a
men
deal
have
breaker for
hands.
some people because they want to have that human
Reese.
being in their life for the rest of their life. Okay, that's different. That's
Yeah.
a big ass topic.
That's
Sex,
that's
dude, like I
fucking
said,
huge.
you ain't gonna die.
Sex.
You ain't gonna die.
You're not giving up 18 years
Oh
of your
my
life.
God.
You don't have any proof of that.
Okay.
All right,
okay.
look.
You know how
I don't
weak
want to.
I feel?
I don't want to spend an entire.
Yeah,
2
we gotta
weeks
go. Yeah, we gotta meet
on
that.
this.
We gotta talk.
I
didn't wanna
understand
talk
this
about
is
What
new.
is that?
I understand this is new for you, Zadie. And it's fine. But we've been trying to convince Jarrell to like
It's not gonna fucking
anything like this for about 2.5, 3 weeks. It's just not gonna
I
happen.
wish you the best, sir. I hope you find somebody that's got the same
I don't
exact
like-
expectations as you.
I don't
But
feel your
I'ma
tone
say-
is that, yo. I don't feel your
Because
tone
what else could
is I
say?
wish you the
I
best.
can't appreciate-
No,
I wish you the best.
You-
I
you
hope
wanna
you
know what's
find-
Your
hilarious?
words say I wish
No.
you were the best. The tone says you gonna die alone, nigga. That's what's
So
terrifying.
the funny thing is I'm pretty sure the last 4 guests we've had on has said the same thing when they heard, like, at the end of the conversation, like, wish you the best, my nigga.
Every time, right? Every time.
And you still
Every
don't.
time.
I mean, I do. In the end, I really hope so. But it's like I said, like, every person has their list of expectations. That's just on yours. And you can't sit there and be butthurt when it's not met whenever you want it to be met.
I gotta be butthurt.
Because that's
Just
what you
can't
are.
work out.
Because you sound butthurt though. You getting real butthurt about us sitting there and saying, "Oh, well, why aren't you comparing sex to drugs or kids or getting hit by a bus?" It's like,
We were
Okay,
having a
bro.
conversation. I just wanted
Oh, no,
to know
yeah.
everybody's extremes.
but we
were at.
can let's connect that back to what y'all were saying though about the women expecting, the cash apps in the morning and shit. Y'all get riled up by that.
Oh, ooh, no. Yo, I'm happy you said that. I'm so happy you said that. Me and Miles had this same conversation this week.
Okay.
And when Miles said that, he was just like, I can't believe women would feel this way. I was like, Miles, you want to know why I don't give a fuck about this? Because those women ain't checking for me. I'm not that guy, and we're not checking for each other. We're not at the same parties. We're not at the same events. Why would I care why somebody else is thinking or doing in their situation if I know I'm not going to be part of that? So that's exactly how I feel. If you don't want to be part of that, hey, it's no sweat off my back. I also wish you the best, and I say it I hope you die lonely. But you know what I'm saying? I just want them to. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. You think I'm sending you $30 to say wake up? Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you kidding me? But they're not looking for me. All right, I'm not that guy to them, and we're in 2 different worlds. We're not going to be in the same place, and I accept
That's what
that,
I'm saying.
and I live with that. I
So why
accept
is
that.
it-
I'm not going to be with women that want kids. I accept that, and I live with that. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to be that guy, and I
But
accept
Miles,
that. And I live with that.
Yes.
Why isn't that answer sit well with you though? Like, are you assuming more women are like that they expect, like the Cash App thing? Like what? Like
So-
what bothers you about it exactly?
At the time,
Wait, real quick, Calvin, they're not on the table. They're not in the house. They're not in the city, the state, the planet, the universe, nigga. I'm not that guy. I'm not that fucking guy. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy.
it ain't tricking if you got it. You're right. But so it bothered me at the time because like I said, I used to be the guy that did that, but like apparently I was the fucking shit person that was only sending like fucking $40 and they were expecting like 300 or something like that, and it just like it made me you sound like your mom. It just like at the time it triggered me so hard that like they expected a minimum of $300 for a night out at a hookah bar. Like, who the fuck did... At the time I was like that.
You see that? I feel like that makes your life easier though. It like cuts out the people that you don't want to be around that much quicker, you know? Like if she's demanding 300 from you and you know you're not that type of person, it's like, okay, I can't keep up with that, goodbye. You sit there, you move on to the next. Like that's it is. Like why would you get mad at that if that works out for some people? There's men that genuinely like doing that. They like feeling like a provider. They like cash apping $300. You know, they get their kinks out of sitting there and maintaining their woman. Like it works for some people, but that just doesn't work for you. So why is the problem?
Yeah, I think the problem is that she ain't their woman. Like if it was their woman, I don't care. Like if you're dating, and you're sending your girl money, good shit. I don't care. It's the fact that she had 5 or 6 dudes sending her money, and she's over here like, hey, I need money for the night out, to 5 dudes. Or like
that's
however
on them,
many.
Though.
Yeah, that's on them. At the time I was just upset. And I cleared my head. Jarrell told me I need to stop worrying about what other people do. And he's right. It's not my
ain't your life, man.
It ain't my life. So I don't have to worry about it. They're not looking for me, they're looking for big ballers. I just want to look out for like men, because I feel like
wait, what are you about to say?
Men are dumb, and like I need to look out for them.
Oh, like hold on though. Like, how many times has this happened though? Like, how many times have you been in that situation where, you know, there are women asking you for money, or like they expect like some type of monetary, you know? Like...
It has happened in my life more times than I can count. I do not always fall for it. Like I fell for it that one time that I told you about earlier. But since then, since I learned, it has happened quite a bit. Just last week I was telling people about this girl that I was talking to for a little bit, who then like wanted me to buy her kids like school clothes and shit, but then it turns out she had a baby daddy that she was still talking to, a boyfriend she had, and then a sugar daddy she was talking to, and she was trying to make me the fourth, and I'm just like, yeah, it ain't me. But she was out looking for me. Like she legit was like on the phone, like she called me on the phone while she's at the mall and was just like complaining about how she needed some money for her daughter's school stuff. And like the way she was saying it was clearly like, hey, send me money.
So now, do you think that's the culture, or that's just who you're specifically attracted to?
I think the culture is changing towards that in some sense.
Because I've never run into that. I've never run into that kind of person.
I've had that once in my life. I've had that once in my life,
multiple times, like back to back, bro. That sounds like a you problem.
It might be a me thing. It might be a me thing.
Who are you attracting or attracted to? Like, if you look at a certain woman, you're like, that's what I want, and then they bring up the fact that they need to, you know, sit there and have money every morning. Like, is that a them issue, or is that you going and looking for that and then being like, nah, like that's not gonna work?
Premium business model chick. I don't know. I seriously, like, I've changed as an adult, obviously, but like. I don't know what
change sounded like it hurt, bro.
Have you changed as a man, though?
Yes.
Okay, but you still run into that today.
No. All right, so that latest that happened was about like 3 years ago. I haven't run into it since. Okay. I mean, like, I still run into girls that want money, but like, I clearly know, I can spot them from a distance now and be like, you just want money from me. I don't need to talk to you right now.
Thing. So you changed, and therefore now they're gone. It's not necessarily that it's a culture, is that you stop being attracted to that type of person.
Apparently I was, but the thing is, I think it's becoming more of a thing now. Like, before, gold digger was like a thing that no one wanted to be, but now it's like, I'm not a gold digger, I'm a sugar baby. And like, women are going towards that. Women want to be sugar babies. I know women want to be sugar babies because I know women that are actively looking to be a sugar baby.
But then at the same time, you've got the women that are jumping on that feminist train. The self-sufficient, don't need no man, you know, they sit there, become CEOs, business owners, all this shit. Like, they're not worried about men at all. They want to self-sustain.
The funny thing is, the ones that are the sugar babies also say the same thing that the, like, independent woman says. They're like, I don't need no man, but I want to be a sugar baby.
Well, that's different.
I have my own money. Like, I have my own money, but I'm going to have this dude pay for me.
I don't know. I guess there's many types of people. I just, like I said, I know more women that support their husbands versus the latter that, they're being fully supported by men.
Zadie, let's
it depends, I guess, on the
friends
people.
So I can be meet your friends, so I can meet better
people.
Hell,
nah, that's what you know. You trying to use my friends, but no. I don't know, so like, right, okay, my ex-roommate, he's a stripper in Vegas, right? He's bringing in like 7 G's every 2 weeks. Like, I have a friend that's a stripper in Vegas, right? Makes a bunch of money.
He's a stripper?
Oh, all right, I'm sorry that I am not keeping up with chat. It's actually really difficult keeping up with chat lately. I love it, you guys. Keep up the energy.
And all this, whatever.
I am reading it.
Single.
I just don't always
She doesn't actually have a man. She's not maintained by any men. But that's
when
literally the character she puts on at the club, because apparently that's what gets men to throw the most money. It's like, oh, let me take care of you, oh, I can give you this, or I can give you this. She uses that character, but then at the end of the day, she walks out and she's like, no. This money's all mine. I'm going to invest it in my own small business. I'm going to pay off my own mortgage. I'm going to sit there and not be tied to anything by having my own financial freedom. It's a character.
She's playing a role.
Right.
She's playing a role to get further in life. These women are actually using this as a lifestyle, and that's what really pissed them off.
I think it's also a character. I think it's both.
If it's a character, it might be a character that some people play, and I agree that no, not might be. It is a character that some people play, and I know this because like I also know some dancers that like put on that persona when they're dancing. They're like, I want someone to take care of me and blah blah, but then they go and do their own shit. Like they got their own house, they got their own shit, and like that's the character, and I'm fine with that. I don't know why it bothered me so much that it was the person actually living that life. It was those 3 girls were basically living that life. They were like, I have like talked to 3 or 4 dudes, but then we'll say like they're getting taken out on trips and shit, but then it's just a bunch of shit that like it literally like watching it at the time I do, I'm like replaying everything in my head, and I'm like, oh, it was rough watching it. It was rough watching it. But you're right. I think.
Yeah, I see a forehead vein throbbing. Even on my shitty quality camera, I can see that shit from here, bro. We gotta stop.
Look, my man's blood pressure is off the charts.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What did you want to? What was it? The industry situation? The cancel?
Cancel culture. Yes.
So we could do cancel culture. I was gonna say normalize. Oh no, cancel culture. Yeah, you're right. Cancel culture, but more. My question was, I wanted to pose this question to you two and fuck you, Curtis. I am hurt. And chat. Yeah. At what point do you stop fucking with an entity? And I'm using the term entity because I don't care if it's a business or a person or like a brand. When do you stop fucking with an entity after some controversy? Like how far?
How big is the controversy?
So like, it can be.
I can give a good example of that.
What's your example? I have tons.
Chris Brown, like Chris
Brown.
I was gonna say
R. Kelly.
I love Chris Brown's music, but like if he bopped the shit out of Rihanna, and I cannot get behind that. Like I can't. I really can't, but like I also can't take his songs off my playlist. So I'm like, I'm sitting there and I fight with myself every time. I make this face every time I hear that song, but I'm like, I like this song. I hate the fact that I feel that way.
That's how I feel
that way about R. Kelly.
R. Kelly's different, bro. That was like, kids that he
See,
was fucking
everyone
around
said.
with.
See, that's the
Right,
thing.
yeah. So it seems to be
That's
kids.
kind of my point, is that people can continue to fuck with Chris Brown even though he beat the shit out of Rihanna, but they won't fuck with R. Kelly. And I'm like, all right, that's your stance. But I'm like, I get yelled at so much for where I stand on certain things. Like, I don't like Chick-fil-A. I like their food, but I won't shop at Chick-fil-A because I'm not down with what they stand for. Like, they're super anti-gay, and I'm not about that. But when I say, oh no, I'm not gonna go eat at Chick-fil-A, and they're like, wow, you're crazy, you're not gonna eat at Chick-fil-A, it's so good, blah, blah, blah. And like, they'll be on me, and I'm like, but I don't fuck with what they believe in. And then they're like, yeah, but their food's so good. So there's like multiple examples. I have more if you would like some.
Is there one that you're the other side of that for though, where you're like, I know this is terrible, but god damn it, I need this in me, one way or another? Y'all smiling. I know you said Chris Brown. I don't know one off top. I can't think of one. Man, I can't think of one off top.
I know this is terrible.
No, the baby.
Baby, that shit was.
Is that my dog Zadie? Chris? Yes, it is. This is our guest today, Zadie.
That's who?
Chris English. Juice is in the chat. I don't eat there either.
Hey, Chris.
Thank you, Savannah.
Real quick, with the baby situation, I don't support him. I think everything he did was fucking stupid. But not even a but. It's just like, or not. It's not even a but. It's like, I understand why you're probably at the point where you're gonna be at. That doesn't take away from your talent, but I'm not gonna rock with you necessarily all the way through all this shit, because you really fucked up and then doubled down on fucking up and didn't care. But let's take T.I. for instance, and the fuck shit he was saying that involved his daughter, where he was just like, I check in with my daughter's virginity every month and everything like that, because that's my daughter and I want to make sure that she's not out here having sex and everything. And I take her to, like, he was at the point where he was ready to take her to the doctor to make sure that she was still a virgin. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can still, people still bump his shit because they have such an attachment to it. But also, like, this is the man that you're fucking supporting. He's fucking crazy.
I don't know, though. It's difficult because, like, I feel like Chris Brown, T.I., the baby, it's just, like, different forms of just toxic masculinity that they were just hardwired with. Like, they do need to be educated because you can tell that's just how they were raised. So I kind of like.
You can say the same thing about R. Kelly.
R. Kelly was raised to
touch girls.
Let me tell you,
little girls up in his basement and peeing on him. Like, no, that's not something that your mama sat there and taught you.
First of all, I don't. The only thing that I know is for sure is the Aaliyah situation, when everybody around him allowed him to get married to Aaliyah, and the people who were in charge of Aaliyah were out there forging documents for her and everything like that. That is what I know. Everybody in that situation was fucking wrong. The only thing that I don't know is, like, even with the peeing on the girl that was younger, like, the girl who was accused of that, or the one that they said was in the video, went to court and said that's not her on the video. So that's what got thrown out. So as far as the little girl stuff, that's the only thing I can point to is the Aaliyah situation. However, the other things that he did, the Aaliyah situation, the having the women in his house and not allowing them to leave, kind of treat them like slaves and everything like that. That's the shit that I was just like, you need to not be around me, and I don't want anybody I care about fucking with you or listening to your shit. And that's the thing that turned me off.
And that was a rough one for me because I loved R. Kelly's songs, but I don't listen to him anymore.
Bruh,
but like
I used to say 12 Play. 12 Play is probably one of the greatest R&B albums of all of existence, and I haven't listened to it in like 5 years. Bro.
It makes me sad.
Man,
Zadie, you were about to say something.
I dropped R. Kelly right away when that shit came out. It wasn't something I was personally, I guess, connected to. Like, I listened to his music, but not, like you guys did probably. Like, they were on my Now 12 CD, like that kind of thing, like I never
it was
deeply
a big
connected.
Thing in my household. Like, R. Kelly was like, if music was playing and we were all just enjoying it, it was probably an R. Kelly song.
Right.
Saying,
That's
man.
how I feel about Chris
Nothing in the
Brown.
name of
But like,
love.
yeah, the baby, all that. Like the baby, I've known him. I think he was featured in one of Meg's songs. Like that's I don't know too much about him, which is why for me it was just easy to sit there and like not pay attention. I heard what he said, and that shit was like ew, like whatever. And I was like, oh well, I mean I don't care because I don't fuck with him anyway. Like it's not
Right.
hard for me to be dismissive.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I don't. I think that people that are dropping him from shows are just jumping on the
Everyone?
bandwagon so that they don't look bad for
By
everybody
proxy.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think they're just doing that shit to be like everybody else because like I don't know, like I feel
What do you
like
guys
that
think,
is something
chat, by
that
the way? Go ahead, keep going.
like how he said like, oh, you know what I really needed was somebody to educate me on this. And I was like, I can kind of sort of agree with that, but at the same time, a quick Google search would have solved that shit for you. Like understanding how HIV and AIDS actually is transmitted and how that shit works. Like it's not
Until you
anyone's
see where
job
it's
to
coming
educate
from.
you at this point because you're a grown
But-
ass man. Like you know better. You know better than to be saying shit like that.
The
right,
homosexual shit, that's one thing. The fact that he openly started hanging out and snuck somebody into a show who was called out for shooting a woman in the fucking foot, and you snuck him into a show like it was a boss fucking thing to do, you real trash for that, homie. Like you real trash for that, homie.
So we're kind of like we're hitting the part that I'm questioning, but we're also not because we're really
Yeah.
focusing
So what's
on a like we're focusing
Well,
on specific
yeah,
shit. But I
specific
want to know
situation.
like when do you like what constitutes you to stop fucking with someone? So clearly, fucking children like fucking with children, you cut them off
Off the
because
board.
R. Kelly is cut off. But for
Off the board.
so far, like hitting a woman apparently is fine. Everyone forgave him, not just you, Zadie. I'm not just pointing you out. Everyone forgave him. I
Well,
pointed
I
that out when it
understand.
first happened because I'm like,
Wait,
wait, wasn't this like
real
2
quick.
weeks ago? He was just hitting somebody.
Who, Tory Lanez?
No, I'm talking
Oh, well,
about
real
Chris
quick.
Brown.
No, I just want to yell at Keith real quick. Keith, two things. One, Tory Lanez rapping, cool. Tory Lanez singing, shut the fuck up. That nigga's awful. Two, he shot Meg Thee Stallion in the foot, didn't apologize for the shit, didn't offer anything. He just was like, fuck her, fuck that bitch, and then kept it moving. Which, fine, because criminal charges weren't brought up, and really it's a situation between them. But it's a bad fucking look to be freestyling about a woman who you shot in the fucking foot, and then
What about
also
Mike
have
Vick?
to be snuck in. What about Mike Vick? Who said? Well, I'll get to Mike Vick though, because that's another situation that's coming up, especially with me like in football. But to have that situation happen, to offer no apology for the situation, or no insight to the situation, it really is a bad fucking look to just shoot a woman in the fucking foot and then just be walking outside rapping about it and joking about it. It's a bad fucking move, bro. And also, again,
we
that nigga
not?
can't sing.
Do we not believe his song where he came out and he like kind of like touched on the subject where he said that she was just like drunk and like somebody else was with her and she didn't realize what was going on, somebody else shot her, not him.
Even
But he came out with
though-
the whole song. Well, right, and he obviously he could be lying and trying to take all of that away from himself. I understand, but like I don't know. I feel like the fact that no criminal charges were like pushed on him or anything like that,
didn't-
like
That was on Meg though, because Meg decided not to file charges against him. She was just like, it
That's-
wasn't that she couldn't, she decided not to, because she openly said, I'm not trying to put another black man in jail. I'm not trying to attack him. I just don't want to fuck with him. I don't want to be around him. That was that whole situation.
But it's not the fact of, you know, putting another black man in jail. Like, he shot her in the foot. Like, if you're trying to sit there and get him on, like, some weed charges or something, you're literally trying to put him in jail for just whatever. Like, that's different. But, like, if a man points a gun at my foot and shoots it, I don't care how much history we have. Fuck you. Like, literally, fuck you. You can't just go around shooting people in the foot with
I
no
can't go and
consequences.
shoot Zadie in the foot and she's gonna be like, well, you know, it's
Black men in
just
jail.
him.
Right, but
Like,
that's fair.
bitch.
That's fair.
She's gonna beat the shit out of me and send me to jail.
I'm gonna shoot you back
Yeah.
personally, but no, like that's the thing is like for her to sit there and just like dismiss it. Like I don't think that's a good example for anybody at all, especially women. especially women, if she's on that type of platform, and she can sit there and be kind of like, oh, you know what? You don't have to take this amount of like abuse or treatment and just sit there and act like nothing happened. Like that's, I think it's just fucked up that she just let it go. Like, I feel like a lot
Outside,
of women
How do you
excuse
reply?
that from men every single day when it comes to domestic abuse or, oh yeah, he hit me, but like it's fine. Like we're gonna forget it happened, like that kind of thing. And like she just went along with that and didn't do anything. Like no fucking probation or nothing. Like no fine, no nothing. Like that's crazy to me.
are
That's
are we
that's weird.
holding everybody to that standard then? Because that also puts Bobby Brown out the conversation. Because him and Whitney Houston consistently had a very violent relationship with each other and drug addicted relationship with each other. So are we throwing Bobby Brown and everything Bobby Brown related out?
I
What do you
mean,
mean?
I would bring that shit into like look at Cardi B, right? She out here, she got tied to all these robberies and shit with men and drugging people and whatever. Where the fuck is she at? Like, why does she get away with that shit? Like, that's not okay
That's a good point.
either.
That's a good
That's
point.
so fucked
I'm
up.
so
And that's what
glad
I'm
you brought
saying.
that up. Like,
That's a
And
really
that's
good
another
point.
thing, right? And like the fact that like the men that she did that shit to aren't pursuing more severe consequences, like that's also not okay. Doesn't matter who the fuck they are. If they do something like that to you, there needs to be a consequence.
the crazy
Right,
shit
but
that I see about all of this is that like these people are doing these fucked up shit and not even like apologize. Like even if the apology was there, like they're not even an attempt at an apology. But do you think an apology would help?
It's a step.
It's a step.
I think it's a step. Getting
Okay,
the fuck
so, like,
over
Chris-
your pride and
like-
shit, yeah.
So kind of like how Chris Brown apologized for beating Rihanna. It's a step, but people forgave him after that apology. And I find that people, as soon as people see an apology, no matter how sincere it was, people usually forget or forgive almost immediately. And I'm like,
I would say that.
Yo, wait, real quick. Savannah said, I don't think it's anybody's place to tell a victim how to act. And that's what I was trying to get in to say. And I agree 100%. I would agree 100% with that. I'm not going to tell somebody who's been dealt a bad hand in a situation with somebody else how you should or shouldn't handle this situation. You got to do whatever you feel is best for you.
Yeah. I
So
can
that's
see
my
that.
only thing about it. It's just I'm not.
Brown is definitely
It's not
crazy.
for me to say how to do it, what you should do, or what you shouldn't do, or what charges should be pressed or shouldn't be pressed. If you feel like, for whatever reason, if you feel like you just don't want to be in the presence of this person or around this person, but you can point out and show evidence that this is what the situation turned into, then all right, bet I accept
So-
that, and now it's on me to figure out if I'm gonna fuck with them, or fuck with the person that put you in that situation.
Oh, I can get on board with that too. Yeah, for sure. I
Yep,
just, I don't
okay.
know, man. Like, I've obviously never been in that situation myself, so it's easier for me to sit there and be like, yeah, this is exactly what I would do. But like, I don't know. Like, it's just, it sucks to me because, like I said, I mean, I know women that have been in, situations where there's been abuse and everything, and they just don't feel like they can talk. They don't feel like there's a network out there ready to receive them and their trauma and whatever the fuck they've been through, which is why they stay quiet. And it's like she said though, like I'm nobody to sit there and tell them how the fuck they should act or how the fuck they should sit there and express that type of trauma. Whether it's they go to therapy and kind of figure it out themselves or whatever, but like I feel like
It's
it
easy
needs to
to
be a
accept.
conversation for sure.
it's
I feel like it
easier to
definitely
accept
needs
a
to
bullshit apology. Sorry.
a bullshit
I keep
apology.
I
What do you
keep
mean?
I keep meaning to read. All right, so Zadie, you're missing out on like basically the scroll of chat, and I keep wanting to read it, but I keep meaning to mute while reading it. So I don't mean to cut you off. I apologize.
No, you're not. I'm
Um,
interested. What are people saying?
So Savannah said it's easier to accept a bullshit apology than you be inconvenienced by cutting people off or out of your life. And that makes sense. It does. But see, that's again, that brings up my question of what is the cutoff then? Like, when is an apology not enough? Because, like, here's one that I just found out about. I don't know why I was into, like, why I watched it, but, like, I just saw this, like, small documentary on Jeffree Star. I don't know if you guys know who that is. He does.
Yeah, I do.
The makeup dude.
Yeah, he has makeup dude. Apparently, before, like a long time ago, he had like a bunch of videos just showing him just yelling fucking racial obscenities at people and just being like just a pure out racist, and I know people still fuck with his shit.
I don't own any of his products. I literally
I
never followed him.
I
at all,
never
but
I
saw
never
that and I was
knew
like, I'm
this.
not following him ever again.
Yeah, I never knew that information, and I don't follow makeup, so I don't really, it never like came to my thing. But I have gone to like the mall with women when they're going makeup shopping, and they're like, "Oh, I love Jeffree Star shit," and I'm just like, in my head, it never like registered to me that he was a bad person. But like, if the person owning the brand does something bad, are you going to stop fucking with them, even if they give a bullshit apology?
Not for that. Fuck no. Look, you know what? A prime example is what's his name? PewDiePie, the YouTuber who's openly, or not the YouTuber, but the Twitch streamer, openly said nigga on his stream multiple fucking times and just comes out with the bullshit apology.
He's a
bro.
YouTuber, by
And
the way, but yeah.
No one said
I don't
anything to
know
him.
that.
No one's tried to do anything. Like the people who follow him for life. Granted, they're a bunch of fucking white kids, but they rock with him for forever. He was never in my line of sight or something that I fuck with. But even if he was, and that shit popped up, I'm not fucking with you, dog. Like that's who you is. You really are fucking whole racist.
Can I just say that I've literally seen, I mean, it's basically just the majority is white people that just be dismissing the whole racial shit. Like, with black people, I feel like it's definitely their choice as to whether they want to sit there and feel uncomfortable with it or not. But, like, white people, like, I don't know, like, for some reason, they're just all weird about that shit. Like, they just don't care, and they should, but they don't.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that. Anyone that's been racist to me in my life, I don't talk to. Even the microaggressions, dude, I immediately just stop fucking with you. It is not acceptable to me. I don't give a fuck who the fuck you are. You can be my best friend's mom. I will never fucking talk to you ever again. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't fuck with that at all. The racist, no, the racism thing, no. Even when I was a kid, bro, I grew up with my next door neighbor, right? I don't know if you remember her. I'm not gonna, name drop. She was my next door neighbor. I was best friends with her since I was 7 years old. She came out and said some racist shit, bro. I cut off that friendship.
Shit did Doja do?
13, 14-year-long friendship. I said bye.
I know you can do it at that point, yeah. You gotta get them out of here. Because that's who they are.
Like, that's just, it's no.
I don't fuck with microaggressions anymore. I definitely don't. I used to, because I didn't know too much. Like, I didn't know better. I was like, constantly around white people, so it was just something that happened. But like the amount of times that I heard, "Oh, you're not that bad for a black guy," or some shit like that, maybe not those exact words, but shit like that, it never fucking, like, in my head I was just like, this seems wrong, but it never like clicked for me. So what happened with EA? You know about EA, but EA is another different type of controversy. This one's suicide of an employee.
EA?
Yeah,
EA or Activision?
EA Activision.
Oh, I thought it was Blizzard Activision, bro.
Oh, no. Is it Blizzard? I don't remember. You said EA during the fucking thing. All right, Activision, Blizzard. What happened with them? That's a company that did something.
Yeah, the whole company was being nasty. A bunch of the higher-ups were just out here sexually harassing their female coworkers. And one of them ended up taking her life because of it. And because of that, now pretty people are kind of jumping down their throat and letting them know, oh, y'all ain't shit as a company. The CEO stepped down to try and get the fuck away from it a little bit, but there's still a bunch of people inside the company who ain't shit. So that's that whole situation.
I love when CEOs step down like they're the fucking one that does it. Like, there's a whole list of people that are fucking up. So I think after a while I do stop fucking with companies, but for me it's a lot harder because I play video games all day, and like, to tell me not to fuck with any Activision game is a lot harder because sometimes Activision isn't like the lead of the fucking people, like they're just like supporting it, and I don't know right away, and then I fall in love with a game and I'm just like, fuck, now I'm playing an Activision game. So I think it gets...
I think for games it's so different though, because there's so many minds behind the game, and like canceling out the entire company, and people, who designed the games weren't even affiliated with any of that. I mean, I feel like that just, it doesn't make sense, I guess. Like, Chris Brown, I hate him as a person for sure, but like his producers and shit are definitely on top of it because his music's catchy. But like the video games, like I feel
That's a
like
good point.
I don't know.
So
Like how do you cancel out an entire room
Company?
full of people that made that video game possible for you? Like
when it,
they weren't
yeah.
affiliated with anything that happened.
that's a good point. That is a very good point. Like it gets muddier the more people are involved. But at the same time, like you can say the same thing for like the makeup shit. Savannah, I'm gonna read your comment in a moment. You can say the same thing for the makeup shit. Like Jeffree Star didn't actually make the makeup. It was a bunch of people that worked on the shit that actually made it. But his face is on it. He is that
Right.
brand.
He's getting paid off of it.
Yeah.
Who was the one that's actually
so are
assaulted
people.
the women though?
That was activist.
Yeah, that's
company. I don't know
Activision.
who the actual guy was who caused this woman to take her life. But like I said, the CEO of the company stepped the fuck down. So, and he was part of the shit. So
Well,
there's
that's
a
what
lot
I'm
of people
saying.
in that pot. It was basically, it was basically a lot of the older white dudes who've been there and was making all the money and had a lot of the big ideas were really in there just wilding the fuck out.
Okay, all right, I got Savannah's comment here that I want to read. It's about Doja Cat. Apparently something happened with her with controversy.
Oh,
and it was
shit! Yeah.
I can't
The
she
white
says
kid.
she said I can't really recall exactly, but it was race related in her gaming stream, and I feel like it was before she was mainstream and wasn't getting a lot of attention from the black community, and now that she's making money off us, her entire fucking image and everything has changed, and she's now down. I don't know what.
I don't know if it
Doja
wasn't a gaming stream. It wasn't a gaming stream. She was. The claim is that she was in a racist chat room with a whole bunch of white dudes, and they were saying nigga and shit. And then also she put out a song called. She put out a song that was hella racist. I gotta remember the title of it. But the main thing was that she was in racist chat rooms, letting people call her nigger and shit. And I remember this. I don't have any proof of anything happening. Like I don't have any audio of them saying nigga in the chat room with her. It's just her in the chat room with a bunch of white dudes that they said that the chat room was racist. So that one was the iffy one. Because at first when I heard it, I was like, this is some bullshit. But I personally have not found any proof. If anybody has any proof of them wilding out in the chat, then we're in a different conversation.
There's a video, and all I heard from the video was like somebody dropped that word, and she just didn't do anything about it. Just kept going on like it was normal. Yeah, there's a video on it, and it was like a younger white kid who did.
Yeah.
I think he said the word, and she's just kind of she just became super dismissive, and people were going, "Why didn't you check him? Why don't you care?" Blah blah blah. She's black. I think she's mixed, but she's black. So then people came out and said that her song, can't say the word, but it's ain't shit, whatever the fuck that song came out there. Oh, that's so racist. Yeah, she's like, oh, she can't say that word, but she's half black. So I don't know. I don't know. She's not obviously blatantly white and just saying that word. She's half black, so that's why that word comes to her. You know what I mean? I feel like people don't know that she's black. She's just out here throwing that word.
Yeah, she's half African and something else. Her dad's African, I think, and everything. That doesn't change anything, but I'm just saying. But that's a really good fucking point. That's a really good fucking point. If you're gonna make a whole song about it and then somebody put it in your face like that and you don't check them, that's kind of sus.
Yeah, that's where it was a problem.
Yeah, Dajanique said her PR gave an apology. She went on live and yelled at us that black people don't accept her because she has 3C hair. I don't know what 3C hair is, but
it's a texture of hair that's a little less curly than African American. I mean,
she said black people don't accept her because of her hair. Oh, it's not. It's because you don't really make music for us like that, yo. I mean, it's just what it is, man.
But like, all right,
She
so
tries. I don't
she
know.
tries.
It's weird. No, like she tries to. I feel like she's like trying to be like Ariana Grande, but then she be trying the rap shit at the same time,
I
and I
feel like
just
she
feel
just
like she's
tries to
all
be
over the
weird.
place.
I really
Yeah,
feel
like
like she
she's
just
definitely
tries to be
weird.
weird.
No, she is
Huh?
weird. She's fucking weird, bro. But she like, and that's the only thing that's really fucking me up with her, because if you would have asked me just last summer who I think the three biggest names in entertainment was on the music side, it was Doja, the Baby, and Meg. And it's really crazy how fucking a year makes, because Doja is still going, even though she had that on her record, but she took that on the train and kept going. But the Baby is about to be the fuck out of here, man, and that's really fucking insane. All because he didn't shut the fuck up. If he would have just shut the fuck up, he would have been fine.
It's amazing how much people's life would be a little bit better if they just shut the fuck up.
Bruh.
I don't know, dude. Cancel culture in itself is just so wild to me because it's very extreme, but at the same time, I kind of appreciate it sometimes. Like,
Yes.
consequential shit, that should be, handled by the law faster is actually handled faster now because of people. Because of how many people decide to get back behind that cancel culture, like the Karens in the video, fire her right now, let's find her, let's do all this shit, whatever, and then there's an immediate consequence.
So
like, I kind of am thankful for that shit, but at the same time, like, it can get very extreme and it can get very crazy very fucking fast with whatever. Like, someone raises the alarm and everybody follows.
Yes. I think you are 100% correct, and I think you hit something on that, like the nail on the head when you said that it gets extreme. And I think that something happened in the 2000s that everything has to be an extreme now. As soon as something gets to a point where it's big, people take it to an extreme. It's, in my opinion, it's everywhere. It's fucking like well, fucking politics. We can start at politics. I don't like to talk about politics, especially on stream, but politics now swings at a very extreme. Even going down to cancel culture, it was a good thing that people started like stepping up, saying like the Me Too movement, and like stopping people from taking advantage of them, and just like, hey, this person's not actually a good person. Cancel culture started off as a good idea, then got pushed to the extreme. Like, just a bunch of things are happening, not just these two, I just only use these two, are happening where it starts as a good thing and then gets pushed to the extreme because people just keep taking it to the extreme. Like, we're just pushing everything to the extreme now.
It just
what do you feel like is the situation that got out of hand?
Oh, for sure, cancel culture. For sure.
No, but like, what in that cancel culture got out of hand? Like, what was the thing that you were like, oh, this is getting like out of pocket?
They were trying to cancel like old cartoons, like fucking Tom and Jerry or some shit like that was gonna be
Snow
canceled.
White that I brought up, they said we need to get that shit out of there because of no consent. Same with Sleeping Beauty. Same with, like, there's a bunch of different like movies that they want, like, to stop being produced and all this shit. Like, there's a bunch of just ridiculous shit.
Mickey Mouse,
yeah, like, Mickey Mouse, like all these
Mickey
like,
Mouse.
I was like,
yeah, Mickey Mouse is gonna be canceled.
For why?
There's some shit back in Disney you can look at was hella racist too, which those I feel like should definitely be cut off the air. Period. Like that. That definitely.
Going back to what we were saying though about what's it called? About companies and everything being built off of racism. It is a well-known fact that Walt Disney was fucking racist.
Yeah. Well-known fact that Disney's a racist, but no one's ever gonna cancel. Disney's too powerful at this point.
That's what I'm saying.
Disney's too powerful at this point. Like, you need to watch
You
your mouth.
can't cancel Disney anymore because Disney's dead.
They own it.
And now it's a complete. Well, right, but I'm saying Disney, like Walt Disney's physically gone from this planet. Like, he's dead.
Yeah, Disney.
Like,
that
he
we
was
knew
racist
was dead.
as fuck. And now the new minds have taken it in a new in a new direction where it's not racist like it was when he was alive and he was behind most of that shit.
Yeah, now it's just a terrible conglomerate of power that shouldn't exist. But let me watch my mouth before Disney cancel me. Yes, completely. Disney is way too powerful. Disney is way
They got
too powerful.
everything. They got Star Wars and the Avengers. Like they got Marvel.
Have you ever
It's a big
looked at?
business move.
No, have
It's a
you
good
ever
one.
looked?
Shit.
See, you're like still in awe, but if you think, like, if you look at how much Disney owns and like how much
I
power
know,
they have,
sir.
it is
I know.
ridiculous.
I know how much
it's,
they own.
It's
My point
dangerous.
is this: if you were in that position and being one of the heads of the company to make these good business moves
I'd
to
love
own all
cancel
this stuff,
culture.
you wouldn't make it. You wouldn't do
So-
that.
Sure, I would. I would.
Yeah, I
That's
would.
what I'm saying.
But-
Like, how much
but
shit on you
however-
for something I'ma definitely do. Like, you
However,
mean to tell me I can own Marvel? Nigga, yes. Give me my
how,
Well, yeah.
and Star Wars. Run it the
However-
fuck up. I need that.
however, they are it's way too powerful in my opinion. They own, I think, every
you wanna
news
do it?
source. I'm pretty sure they own every big news source. Like, it's not the fact of if I would or wouldn't do it. It's the
Okay.
fact that it's a little. It's too much. Kind of how I felt when
So
Google
where
was
would you
taking
have
over
stopped?
everything. It's
Where
not
would you
about
have
what I
stopped?
would do. I'm a person. They're a company. This is two different
I'm saying
things.
though, let's just say you're on the board of CEOs though, and they're like, "All right, cool. Like we're thinking about getting something else." Would you be the voice in the room going, "We have enough"?
No, no one's
That's what
gonna
I'm
be
fucking
that.
saying. How I'm gonna tell them they own too much, and I'm gonna do the same shit.
I mean, I can kind of see what he's saying though, because like once it gets to a point where it's like between like 3 different big companies taking everything over, because you got Amazon on one side, you got Disney on the other. I mean, you can sit there and bring up Apple and Microsoft, all that stuff. When it gets narrowed down and Disney just starts swallowing everything,
Why
and it
is
just
Delmar
gets broken
calling
down
me?
to these 3 companies own everything. Like that's kind of crazy.
what
I
the
mean,
hell
I'm
you are?
not
I'm
Right?
so
It's
scared.
crazy because we're on the other side of it now. If
for
I had a
sure.
chance, but if you also had a chance to get some Disney money in your pocket, you'd be like,
you
"Motherfucker,
in
buy it
chat?
all, buy it
Yeah.
all." I would also
Of
want,
course.
like, even if I'm not Disney
That's why
level of
Monopoly
shit.
is movie.
Oh yeah. Well, even if I'm not Disney level of shit, like whatever I get up to in life, I want to keep going. I want to damn sure make sure I'm gonna keep making money and making good, smart business decisions. So I'm not gonna shit on them for doing that because I'm gonna do the same fucking thing.
I think I'm going to shit on them for doing that because it is terrifying in my opinion. It
But
is-
if you were in that
so
position, you wouldn't do it.
well, I know not to call you if I'm dying. Nigga, are you dying? I literally said what's up. You called me, I'm streaming. I'm gonna
cracking,
call I
Delmar?
was gonna call you back.
What's cracking, bro?
Like, do you need some help? Like, what is going on? What was I about to say? Alright, so you want to play it that way. What if it was a country that was just taking over other countries and you were head of that country and you just want to continue expanding land? You just gonna be everyone wants to keep expanding. Are you gonna be the voice of the room saying we have enough?
Fuck
But
no,
do-
keep buying them shits.
It's an Extreme Miles. He plays in the Extremes Miles. We already learned about this Miles.
Oh
He
shit.
loves the
cold,
Extremes.
man.
Why you gonna play into that? No, you don't sit there and say
Light-skinned
Extreme
nigga
Puff
down.
because you know he's gonna do anything.
Alright, fine.
That is
Alright.
a bad example. He'd be like, yes.
Nigga, I want it all. I want it all today.
You're bringing up
Today.
the wrong extreme.
Yeah, I am apparently. This nigga is
I
gonna be
need it
fucking
all.
taking over everything.
Are you,
What up?
why? I want everybody to keep growing and keep profiting. I want everybody
What?
who I know to keep doing dope shit. Why would I want to take you or
On what?
stop you from doing
Like
that?
down, actually.
I don't think it's like scary like this man is saying, but like at the
You
same
are
time,
not.
like I don't know.
What?
It's just weird. It's weird that it's like just these few big companies versus how it
Nigga,
was.
you
Because I
better not
mean,
just be hiding
any
your
small
calling
company,
to
you know, the
Bob
mom and
and
pop ones, they're all
question.
getting bought out by everything big. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I kind of get
Like,
his point of view, but I'm
7
not
minutes
exaggerating,
or,
or it's
like,
not as
7
drastic
15,
as he's
why?
saying.
All right, but even that, does knowing that the mom and pop shops are getting bought out stop you from shopping at a Target or a Walmart?
This nigga.
Absolutely not.
That's what I'm saying. But if you were on the board of that situation, you would also be in like, fuck everybody
Nigga, you
else. The
called
name
me
of the
during
game
a
is get this
podcast
money.
to ask me to pick you
Yeah,
up
of
some
course.
topics.
I
saying.
wouldn't hesitate. I wouldn't hesitate. It's just weird
That's-
because,
I'm
like, you
gonna-
look
I'm
back
hanging
like
up right
10
now.
years,
I'll
that
call
wasn't
you
the
back,
case.
True.
You know, you look back like 20 years, that wasn't the case, but now,
All right, bye.
you know, looking now, like it's literally just a few companies. It's not
Yep.
several different companies. I don't know.
And
It's
Marvel, if
weird.
you ever,
Everything's weird.
Disney, Marvel, if y'all hear this shit, man, call
I'm
me.
mad.
I'm with it. I want it all.
I'm so annoyed.
Somebody
for-
asked you for $10.
No, fucking. All right, first off, Delmar says, "What's
on the
up?"
whiteboard?
No,
what's
this
cracking,
nigga
brothers?
calls me and says code red, all this shit, thinking that it's something big. He's like, I fell, I can't get up, I can't get up. And then he's like, nah, but really, what would it take for you to go to the store and get me some Takis? Just because this nigga has, like, he is sick and is on quarantine, and he wants me to get...
Oh,
This nigga called me during a podcast that he knows I'm in.
That he's been on too. That's funny as shit, yo. Nah, but you shouldn't get it to him. You shouldn't get him in because Takis suck ass, bro. So
Takis do suck ass, so I'm gonna be like, nah.
Takis are fucking disgusting.
Oh.
I missed the
I don't know if Miles told you, but I am Latina. I'm Mexican,
Yeah.
Puerto Rican, and Takis are a regular part of my life.
Did you see that video where the woman like
Sorry
washed
about
off the Takis?
Literally, and me and my cousin just take all the hot stuff off and we throw the chip out. Like that's how it is for us. So we like.
Yeah,
them.
you only want the powder. You don't really care about the chip.
I
The chip
do.
is just a delivery system.
Pretty much.
I feel like I missed the end of. It's all content. I was giving you content. Nigga, you were interrupting my content. I was trying to tell Jarrell that he needs to stop being a fucking villain. And he's just like, nah, let villains be villains, man. You gonna tell a villain to stop being a villain?
I don't like your
Yeah.
voice. I don't think that voice was.
I just want you to.
I didn't like that at all.
Jarrell, I am fully okay with you being like, you know, you doing the whole sex thing or like asking for sex. I play it up as like,
Asking?
you know, it's a,
I don't.
shut up. We're not
You're
talking
saying
about
a
it.
lot right now, homie. You are saying so much.
But to say that Disney has the strong potential, it's like being in the world under Superman. Like any moment he can flip a switch, but instead of Superman, it's someone that's just like only in it for money. So at any
quick.
moment they could just flip to evil.
Real quick, block Dodgy D from chat. She can't talk for the rest of the day. Get her out of here.
Jarrell impression on the spot.
Ban her. Damn it. Anyway, why? If I don't understand, bro. If you were in this position, right? Matter of fact,
You're
you know who
asking
Byron
me
Allen
if
is?
I was evil. That's basically how you are saying this. If you were
All right,
evil
fine,
in that
though, but
position,
Listen to me. Listen to me. Just hear me out, right? Do you know who Byron Allen is? Correct.
no.
Byron Allen is a very good black entrepreneur. He was the guy that owns the Weather Channel now, right? He had a comic show. He has his hand in a bunch of fucking pots, bro, and he's been in the business for years. He has a shit ton of fucking money.
Don't block
Why would I
Graves.
tell him to stop? Like, if he has a chance to keep moving up, why would I be against him making?
I'm
those
not
moves?
telling them to stop. Well, I mean, I am, but like,
I was about to say.
it is terrifying to me that it is allowed in my sense. Like, we have rules for monopolies to not let shit happen because of what happened before when people
Right.
owned everything. They could just like, you know, jack up the
And they
prices.
set the price, right?
Yeah.
They
It
get to dictate the market.
It was a terrible time.
But if you were in that position, would you do it? Would you be trying to stop it, or would you get to a point where you're like, we have enough, we don't need it anymore?
So that's not a fair question to ask.
That's
though.
not a
Why
fair
is
question.
it not? How is it okay to be like, they need to stop, or I don't like that, but you would also in that position do the same thing?
Because it's depending on the person and what they're doing. Like if Disney's out here knowing
Yeah,
what
you
the
act
fuck they're
like
doing,
it's-
it's like when, you know, companies make apps very easily for kids to download on iPads and just, you know, spend all their
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
money, right?
intentional?
Like they're targeting like that young audience, and it's
Okay.
not correct. They shouldn't be doing it. I mean, I think the same can be said about, you know, like anybody Disney, like they're not, you don't know what their intentions are. You don't know what they plan on doing. You don't know how far they're willing to go. So it's different if you're asking him like what the fuck he would do, because obviously money is nice. But like, to what extent are you willing to go for that money?
Yeah, at
is the
what
question.
extent am I selling my
That's what
soul
I'm
for this
asking.
money?
At what point are you gonna say no? Then tell me that. When is the point
when
that
it
you're gonna look
when
at
it
everybody in the room and
when
go,
it
okay,
starts
guys, no more
when it
new
starts
money.
being when it starts being like more malicious than fucking just when it starts being malicious, I need to get the fuck out, because if I don't believe in what you're doing as a company, I'm going to get out. That's how it is.
So have they done something that you don't believe in as a company?
I was just about to ask that. Like, what have they done that you're so spooked about, or is it just more so that they
Right.
can take everything out and flip it from underneath us all of a sudden if they wanted to?
That just a single possibility. It's like if everyone I don't know how to put. Basically, it's just the fact that they have this power is terrifying.
But
And
if you
the
had it,
fact
you'd be scared.
that the fact no, I wouldn't want all that power, in my opinion. But the fact that they have it and everyone's is like
Somebody
not
lying.
worried about it, it blows my mind. Like,
Somebody
are you
lying.
not somebody
I
lying?
didn't realize
lying.
Megamind was your
Somebody
co-host
lying.
here. I didn't realize, bro. This
Somebody
guy.
lying.
Surprise, surprise.
Megamind.
Somebody lying.
Surprise, surprise, there's a villain between us and one of us is a superhero.
I'm a villain because I'm okay for people making money.
You are-
I'm all with it, people making money. I'm all with
with it,
pushing
people-
limits. I'm pushing everything to the limit, man. Go for it.
So you're fine with a
Can't even argue
company
with
that
that.
will push it to the limit to then fuck over other people.
Who's getting fucked over? Oh wait, I'm gonna ask you the same question. So you understand that mom and pop shops, like, you know what I'm saying, the hardware stores and all that shit, they're getting undersold. I don't know, but going to a Target or a Walmart is better for you as a consumer to go there because their product costs cheaper, rather than going to a mom and pop shop where the product costs more, but it can help your community out. Is that going to stop you from going to Walmart or Target or some type of big store? Is that your thing? Or you not do that no more?
So I guess that's a fair one. I still go to Target over mom and pop shops, but that's because mom and pop shops cost more. Personally, usually
my point.
they cost more. Now, Disney does not cost less than other shit. Don't ever tell me Disney costs less than other shit.
I'll bring up an example that pissed me off. All right, so I have Disney Plus, and I pay a lot for what I think is a streaming service. They
Yeah.
dropped their new movies, right? They said, "Give me $30 on top of what you're already paying to watch this newly released movie."
Hey guys,
Why?
No, you just
I-
missed all of that.
doesn't do that
We don't
shit.
get to talk about that anymore. We're
Wait a
like
minute.
you.
Wasn't listening?
Jarrell wasn't listening. No, sorry.
No. I'm gonna tell you. No, I'm
Delmar
listening. It's
wasn't
just the fact
listening.
that- yeah, Delmar wasn't listening. Also, I'm gonna send you a link to something, and you can send it over to her, so that way she has it. But yeah, fuck all them streaming sites. Fuck all that shit. That shit's ghetto.
I know, but I'm
shit.
saying, like,
Don't
to
pay
give
them shit.
an example of that for Disney, though. Like, I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
no,
HBO Max,
exactly.
they release the movies the same fucking day, and they're not charging extra on top of it, but Disney's like, we're gonna take advantage of the captive audience that we have, and we're
Yeah,
gonna charge them $30 to play this movie one time on their own TV at home, when a movie ticket costs $12. Like, you're
Right, but
already
the difference
paying that
between-
much.
The only thing I'll say about that is that the difference between that situation of watching it at home on demand versus going to a movie theater is that the movie theater pays the difference in the price, hoping that they can make more profit off of you by buying snacks and all that shit. That's
Oh, for
where
sure,
the difference
but-
in price goes to go. So the real price of it is really like $25 to $30. Yeah, about $25 for a movie ticket if they didn't have all the extra shit. Then they charge you
Okay.
the $30 for convenience.
Okay, so
And
now
nobody
we're
else
just getting
does it.
we're just getting
HBO.
wholesaled, basically.
HBO ain't dropped nothing hot, and we need to be.
So,
Y'all need to
Jarrell,
hold them accountable for that shit.
Jarrell,
Every big hit that they've come out with, King Kong, whatever
Trash.
else, what Space Jam, that kind of shit, they
Trash.
drop the same exact day, but they don't charge you for it.
Jarrell,
Yeah,
would
and
you
that's what I'm
continue?
saying.
You shop at Target and Walmart and shit, right? Over mom and pop
Yeah.
shops. What if they started
Something.
having a fucking club fee where it's just like, to shop here you need to pay $30 a month,
Oh,
and
mean
if you
Sam's
want to
Club?
shop here on a Sunday, it's $50 that day.
You talking about Sam's Club?
Club.
I mean, yeah, Sam's Club do it,
I don't have a Sam's Club. I don't go to her.
but
I'm
if
not
Target
paying that.
started
I'm just
doing that,
saying, would you stay
I
loyal
guess
to
I-
Target and Walmart if they did
No,
that?
I'm not loyal to these motherfuckers. I'm loyal to whoever is giving me the best bang for my buck. That's what
Disney
I
is
am
not
as a
giving you the
consumer.
best bang for your buck. Disney is
Fam,
only in it to get out.
What are you talking about? Marvel alone has taken 10 years of my life and given me countless entertainment.
Leave the
Marvel
podcast.
alone. What are we doing?
You would pay $30 to watch that off their site? Off their
Who said that?
subscription? You would pay.
Look.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There
said
are
that?
people that are loyal to Marvel and to Disney, right? They're already paying the subscription price, but
actually,
then they
you know
get
what?
charged $30
Oh
inside
shit,
their
my
house.
music stopped.
Actually,
What?
let me tell you, yes, and let me
It's
tell
been
you
over
why.
it?
Oh, no.
I saw Avengers Endgame. I saw that 3 times in theaters, and it cost me about $75 to go see
That's
it.
on
3
you.
times total.
That's on
That
you.
is
That's
on
what I'm
you.
saying,
Ain't
though.
nobody
Whoa,
spending
but I'm not blaming-
$75.
Hold on, let me tell you why. I saw it twice opening day, and then I saw it another time like a week later.
I'm not even
But
gonna watch it.
point being is that I, as a consumer, realized that the product that they were putting out was something that I fucking fucked with, and I decided to go ahead and pay that price for it. So it's on me. I agree it's on me,
Oh.
but also I know that the product that they're giving me is something that I fuck with. So I'm
Okay.
gonna go pay that bread.
So
You fuck with DC?
We not the live action shit. Their cartoon movies their animated movies are fire though.
Oh, you know who has all those animated movies, though, right?
Who?
HBO
WB?
Max. HBO Max.
Yeah.
HBO Max has WB.
okay,
But
That's what I'm saying though. But that's
Justice
fine. That
League,
doesn't make
the
their
uncut
movie releases
version-
not shit.
it don't matter. I'm
so-
not paying for it. But I'm saying
That's
is
fine.
it's
I'm with you.
HBO
I don't
Max.
think you should. First of all, I
Right.
don't think anybody should be paying for subscription fees, especially in the age of the internet where all this shit is out here. If you know where to look, fuck that, bro. I'm not doing that shit. Like I said,
For sure.
I'm gonna send a link your way, and then you'll figure it out.
But
You'll
I'm
see,
literally
you'll see
saying,
the
I'm
life
telling you in general, though, how are you going to feel okay with Disney charging $30 on top of their subscription fee to watch one movie one time?
The same way I feel okay with the state fairgrounds charging me to buy tickets on rides that can cut my legs off. I understand what the risk of this situation is. I am now choosing to be a part
$12
of it.
ticket. A $12 ticket versus
send me the link.
$30.
Again, you're caught up on the price. I'm not worried about the price. I'm worried about the product that I'm getting.
I'm
See,
worried about the price
real-
because it's little kids too, and I know they be clicking on that shit all willy nilly. Like I'm gonna watch this movie right now, and their parents fucking see that shit on top of it. I know Disney does that shit on purpose, bro.
My entire life, not my entire life, but when we finally got
Nikisha.
cable back in my house again, we ended up like I could have bought pay-per-views and everything like that, but my parents told me, "Slow the fuck down, little guy. You're not paying for any of this. You need to figure
why
that the
go
fuck
to
out."
an amusement park where you pay for admission and for rides?
The state
Am I
fair?
missing- Oh, I don't go to the state fair. It ain't about.
That's what. But when you did though, when you did go and you were like, "I don't care about."
I went one time and I
safety.
was just like, "This is dumb. I'm paying to get in. I'm paying for tickets," and then fucking like it was
But,
stupid
right,
for
it's
me.
fucking dumb. But you decided that as a consumer, that didn't work out for you. That's what I'm saying. It's still up to the consumer.
So my original point about the whole Disney thing is just that Disney owns too much that it's hard to trust them when they're that powerful, because they can be up to some malicious shit and you would never know. They own every
do you
news
think they're
site.
doing?
They own. It's about what they can do. They literally own every news site. They can tailor what you see for news, and I'm 99% sure they do. Like they
Like
can
Facebook,
always.
I mean, they did the same thing during the election, so I can kind of see what you mean. They manipulated
it's
shit.
fucking, like, you shit, like, it's sneaky ass shit. But it is past 10. 10. We had a very, aggressive
you
conversation.
I
had
had
some
fun.
aggressive.
I had so much fun.
Yeah, we had some aggressive conversations, but they were all fun.
Ugh.
Jarrell still refuses to learn or see the light, but it's fine. We still love him for it. Zadie, I fully appreciate you coming on
Thank you
and
so
talking
much,
to
lady. It
us.
was wonderful talking to you.
It was so
wonderful
much
talking to you
fun.
guys. Thank you, Miles, for having the patience with me for everything.
I
Because I know I
look.
wasn't the easiest person to like direct.
Oh, you were,
No, you were
oh, you were
you
fine.
actually
You were
you were
perfectly fine.
actually one of the easier ones.
Real talk.
Okay.
Like we had you picked out like a week in advance, so I was like able to like communicate like, hey, this is our topics coming now, and it felt so much smoother in my mind because normally it's like Thursday at
Chaos.
3, and we're like, hey, do you want to be a guest for tonight?
Chaos.
But
We're getting
Do
better.
it again
We,
whenever you want. I'm here. I'll do it. I'll hop on. We'll talk about some more shit. Don't worry
oh
about
hell
it.
yeah, we'll definitely
Hang
have you
on
back
whenever you
on.
want.
yeah,
Please do.
we have some topics. If chat ever
Oh.
has topics that you guys want us to talk about, please just like tell us. Like send me a message. Say it in on one of my things. Put it in a YouTube comment. Whatever. We read them all. We respond to them all. And I'm sorry I couldn't keep up with chat today. You guys had a wild time, and I loved it. Jarrell, do you got anything to say?
Thanks everybody for coming out. Love all of you. Shout out to Calvin. Shout out to Delmar. Shout out to my boy Josh. Shout out to Dajanique. Shout out to Savannah. Who else was in here? Shout out to Lizzie.
Josh,
Shout out to my aunt
Chris.
Cherise. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, Chris. I love you, Chris.
Calvin.
Yeah, shout out to the team. Shout out to everybody.
Oh wait, we're not shouting out Calvin, right? It's fuck you, Calvin, right?
Nah, Calvin showed up tonight. I don't have no beef with Calvin right now. But
Okay,
if he does want
usually-
some stuff, he can fuck out.
Usually it's
fuck
immediate.
Calvin.
It's usually fuck Calvin.
You made the right decision by questioning if we should fuck Calvin or not, but no, it's
Whoa,
Calvin's cool, right?
whoa, pause.
I have to pee so bad. I have to get out of here.
Well, I'm pausing
I
you because you were like made the decision to fuck Calvin. I'm like, pause.
Why are you thinking that way?
But yeah, thank you
That sounds like
everyone.
things to do.
Please go subscribe to the YouTube. We still are halfway at our goal. That's
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
shout out to everybody who subscribed this week alone, bro. You guys really helped me, and I appreciate you guys because there is a struggling rapper who I need to shit on immediately. So please help us in my personal vendetta of laughing at this man be broke and make terrible music. Please and thank you.
Okay.
It's gotta be more. All right. Bye everyone.
Bye.